and welcome to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pump Meter Studios, joined by my co-host AJ, all the way from Norway.
From Norway.
You just finished my sentence.
Yes.
Like an old married couple.
That's kind of. So, good news today.
Yes, fantastic news.
Phil Heath just said, 6 in the morning?
Yes, we've had Phil Heath on again on Global Muscle Radio.
And we can confirm it's true.
Yeah, Global
Muscle Tours.
Pro Tours.
Our first global muscle tour in the UK will be 7-time Mr. Olympia champion Phil Heath.
Yeah, well, I think it's only apt because Phil was our first.
Our last. Our everything.
Our everything. So he popped our global muscle cherry on the podcast. So I think it's right that he did it for the Pro Tour as well. No, I'm absolutely thrilled because I think we're going to have fun on this tour, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to have really fun. But guys, please, people, come.
Yeah.
If you live in the UK, if you live in Germany, if you live in France, guys, come to the event. The tickets will be sold where?
It's going to be sold from the individual places that we take Phil to, and it'll be probably 2 weeks, I would estimate, before we have the schedule, the dates, because I've got to get the bookings done.
But it will be in July, most likely from 10th to the 18th, correct?
Mid-July.
Mid-July.
Let's just say mid-July because we haven't pinned down the exact date. But it's 90% certain what the dates are going to be, and we're going to look after Phil. We're going to make sure he's very, very well taken care of.
But this is for the people at home. Come. You're going to train with Phil Heath. Because he's going to give training sessions.
You can do that, yeah.
You can have seminars with Phil Heath, take your picture with Phil Heath, shake his talk with him. He got special UK clothing merchandise made just for this tour.
I was very excited when he said that. It makes it extra special, makes it more unique, the tour.
Chris from Pump Media, the super midget as we call him, he's going to be there in film. So we're going to have all the content. So you'll be in the video.
Have you noticed sometimes he smiles at that and sometimes he just gives you evil looks? I think it depends on whether he's eating or not. He gets grouchy when he hasn't eaten. He's like me.
But he just eat chili con carne. He ate some chili con carne, wasn't it?
I think he broke wind, actually.
Just smelled by that. Oh, I don't like talking about those.
You don't like toilet humor. I don't like toilet humor, actually.
No,
I don't like it.
It's
not very British.
And me and Giles will be there.
Yes, obviously the main draw.
The main draw. Phil Heath and Giles. No.
Do you think we'll see Sean Roden in a disguise throwing rotten cabbages at us?
And if you come there and you're a global muscle watcher, we'll give you some. You get some. We hook you up.
That sounds very ominous, AJ. Come on, you've just thought about this on the spot.
No, of course. If you're a global muscle viewer, you skip through the line. You get more time with Phil Heath, guaranteed.
Right. Oh, I see. Right. Yeah. So
of course,
you've got to be. You've got to.
You got to say the code. The code is Giles is a busty man.
Oh. No. That's when you go to the back. You go to the back of the queue then.
Yeah. No. But we'll hook you up if you're a global muscle viewer, of course.
I can see the MD in your reflection of your glasses. It looks it looks quite cool. I might take a picture actually. Is that right?
Seriously, you can.
It looks cool. MD off here.
MD, are you listening?
That's trending. That now.
It's trending
on iTunes. Yeah.
So middle of July, guys, please come.
Please come. Yeah.
And Phil Heath's got to have a lot of. He'll be 270 by then, shredded.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna be dieting by then. I wonder why he's gonna be dieting.
No, in middle of July, he's dieting.
I can see AJ winking through his glasses there. Yeah, I can see his eyebrow raising up and down. Yeah.
Like the rock, give me the rock eyebrow, Giles. Oh, you got that on lock. Yeah.
Oh yeah. No, who's that? I've been doing that in the house today. And I'm thinking, why am I even saying
this? The cream rises to the top.
What? Yeah, I did that. Yeah, who's that? What?
That's Macho Man, Randy
Savage.
Macho
Man. Yeah. Even I know that. Yeah.
Rest in peace. Yeah, he
died. Is he dead?
He died in a car accident probably 5 years ago.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Car accident, very sad.
Yeah, very sad.
And also, Ronnie Coleman is on today.
Yeah, Ronnie Coleman. Yeah.
So we have Phil Heath, Ronnie Coleman, the legend.
What's 7 + 8?
What?
What's 7 + 8?
Ask a bikini
That's
girl.
how many. That is how many Olympia titles
15
are in our show.
No. And then we got Vince Taylor. What a speaker! Yeah, you need a sip of something.
Terminator.
Vince Taylor, the legend, is on.
Sorry, there you go. Yeah, as I say in the interview, it's I took that in 1995 at the British Grand Prix.
It's a really interesting interview, isn't it?
Very good photograph. Thank you, AJ. Thanks for saying that.
Yeah.
Very beautifully. Chris was just saying earlier what a fantastically taken
That's in your hallway, Giles.
That's in my kitchen.
Kitchen, yeah.
Sorry, that's in my kitchen, yeah. Yeah, that is one of my bodybuilding heroes, Vince Taylor.
How did you feel when he beat Kevin Leone, your ultimate hero?
I was really upset. No, but, he did. It was very close. It was very close. No, because that was the year that Kevin took second to Dorian at the Olympia, and Vince was fifth. And Vince was a bit bigger that year. He put a bit of size on, and
yeah, you see that picture from the back you got there.
Yeah, no, he was a bit supersized. He looked really good. That was before he switched completely to doing the Masters shows, and. Yeah, he was. It was very good. I think Ronnie, Kevin Leone really wanted to win that British Grand Prix because he'd been second, and then he wanted to win that. Sorry.
You okay there, bro?
Sorry,
you're struggling.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're so happy you don't really care about.
I don't care.
No, okay, yeah, back to Lee Ronnie, yeah, wins.
Yeah, and then and it was Kevin actually didn't win the British Grand Prix until 1997. Oh, talking about the British Grand Prix, June the 30th. British Grand Prix.
British Grand Prix. That's in a month.
Yeah, well, June the 30th at the Coliseum Centre or whatever, Watford, London.
You'll be there. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Chris, will you be there or?
Yeah. He's washing his hair.
Andrea Presti, the Italian stallion, the pride of Italia.
Italian blade.
The Italian blade, Andrea Presti.
Italian blade.
What does he need to do to...
Legs.
Legs.
You asked me.
Yeah.
And no more tattoos, please. Yeah, they don't.
Tattoos is okay, but it can be a little bit too much.
You've got tattoos, haven't you?
Yeah, but it's but he's got a lot of tattoos, doesn't he? And he keeps on adding them.
I've got tattoos on my butt cheeks.
What's it about?
I've got a W on each cheek.
W. What does that stand for?
I've got a W on each cheek.
I don't even understand the
British joke.
Oh, that's bad. Oh yeah, the O is the ass.
Oh, rolling out the big guns today.
Yeah,
rolling out the big jokes. I'm just gonna.
Yeah,
I've got a few more in my pocket.
So Andrea Presti needs some legs.
Yeah, but he's on his way. He's you got his age wrong.
I said he was 24.
You said he was 18.
I said 24, and he's like 32.
31.
But still a great talent.
Plenty of time. Great physique, great condition. Thing is, he gets condition. He's got wide shoulders, small waist. He's got all.
It's Maurice Saucy is really hands-on too.
Yeah,
his coach. You said, what do you mean? Oh,
no, I was breathing out. I was like sailing.
He's hands-on.
Yeah. Maurice Saucy, very good coach.
Doesn't he have beef with another coach? You don't want to say his...
No, I don't want to say.
No, you want to say. You don't want to say.
Yeah, so.
No.
Okay, talking about coaches.
Who else is going to do, before we go that, who else is doing the British Grand Prix?
Samson Dowda. Good poser, great. I tell you what, do you know what it is with the British guys? Luke Sandow, James Hollinshead, Samson Dowda, they've all come up a lot quicker than I thought they would. I thought they all had potential, but they've all got to a certain point in their physique and in their placings quicker than I thought they could do it.
I think we should have Ian from Bros to Pros 10 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
Next episode.
Yeah.
To hype it.
Why don't you get him and Bob on and it could be like a double act?
You can't do double Skype. He's in the UK.
Well, maybe they can... I don't know. I can do it. Yeah. Well, I don't know how to... Well,
Ole Christian Våge from Norway is making his debut.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of fans. He's very freaky. He's got that macho look that people like.
Macho look.
He also got a lot of tattoos.
Yeah, a lot of tattoos. Big dude. Very big guy.
Not so tall as you thought, but he's wide.
Yeah.
You thought he was tall. He's not.
No, I thought he was like 5'11", 6 foot. And you're like, no, he's 5'8".
He's not the tallest, but he's wide. He's
yeah.
He's round.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Who else? Nathan Diasher, the part of the UK, is doing.
Nathan Diasher, yeah.
James is uncertain. Hollingshead.
Who else was
Mark not doing it.
Who?
Mark Hector. He's not doing it, is he?
No, he's not doing it. No.
Wilder. Lucas Wilder is doing it.
Lucas Wilder's doing it. Yeah.
That's an interesting talent.
Yeah. Very. It's gonna be a good lineup. You'll always get a few jumping in, and maybe a couple. I wouldn't mind seeing like Ian Valier. Do you know what I'd like to see do it?
Who?
Hadi Choopan. Didn't get to Toronto to do the 212. Why doesn't do you know what, that show would be worth alone just to see Hadi next to Nathan because...
And you really think he can beat Nathan Diaz?
I think he can beat Nathan. No, 101 kilo version of Hadi. I think he'd take Nathan out, mate. I think he'd take Nathan.
Never lose to Hadi.
Oh, I think
never.
I humbly disagree.
Impossible. Nathan Diaz is the pride of the UK. He can't lose to Hadi. It's impossible. He's an open Mr. Olympia top 7 guy.
Well,
Hadi first got
but Hadi just can't get to America. He probably would be top 7 if he could get there. Maybe we could smuggle him in or something.
You really think he can beat Dexter Jackson, Hadi?
Yeah.
Oh, Dexter Jackson's not going to come on our show now then.
Well, I'm just trolling.
No, Hadi Choopan. Great talent, of course.
Fantastic.
But Nathan's going to get him.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on, we talked about good coaches, alluded there.
We got some problems. In Norway, we have problems with... I got a friend, Muscle Brown, named Mr. Trump a lot. He told me he's a prep coach.
That's what I call Chris.
He's a prep coach, and I also get a lot of DMs from different people in Norway saying, hey, my coach is asking me, a girl just informed him she can't get pregnant now.
Yeah.
She lost her boyfriend. Oh. They were engaged.
Right, okay.
She's 24.
Yeah.
And she can't have a kid now because she's went on the stupid 600-calorie diet for a bikini contest.
Come on. This has to stop.
Your prize in Norway is a mug where it says Jantana. It's not even the Jantana bottle.
It's not even a tan.
No. Now she can't get kids because she went on this stupid coaches advising 700 calories for a woman.
Yep.
What's your story about
You
this?
told me that story yesterday. This morning, someone messaged saying, I'm going to watch this doing my card. I won't mention her name, but she's a wellness competitor. Very, very good on the rise, as we say.
You sound like Borat, Yaki Mesh.
Very good, very nice. And she gave me an exact same story of a coach because she's now working with, she's working with Luke Sander. And he's completely
different than that, yeah.
Yeah, she's healthier, she's looking better, she's progressing. And this guy, tell you what, he needs to, if we see it, I tell you, we need to slap. We need to slap him. Because I'm telling you, the stuff she was telling me was really, really bad. And he sounds, I don't know this girl really well, but I take her on a word. But this guy sounds really, really bad. And these people, there's a lot more of these kinds of people in the industry putting these girls. This is what he put her on: 900 calorie diet, 2 hours of cardio, a lot of thyroid medication, a lot of T3, T4, and of course, he had her on hard diuretics, 10 weeks out
on top of this
every day. Like 10 weeks and 6 weeks out.
Bikini girl.
Come on.
No,
Come on. No, this has to stop. No. It has to stop because these girls will end up with metabolic damage. They'll end up with physical thyroid issues. Yes. They'll end up with weight gain, depression, hair falling out, hormone imbalances. It's like my partner Rosie.
Bikini title.
My partner Rosie Ruskell Hart. She preps a lot of women, and I tell you what, she sometimes goes into detail when we're sat watching TV at night with the cats. And she'll go into detail about the kind of, the level. It's very complicated to prep women. It's not that simple. Like some of these coaches, and you get bodybuilding coaches that will prep women, and they'll just put them on half of everything they're on. And they put them on extreme, it's stupid. Like really stupid things. It really angers me. And girls like bikini girls put on things like Winstrol and all these different kind of, and don't need to be on it.
No.
It don't need to be on it. And they are messing these girls up because the thing is, there's such a high volume of these bikini girls, and these there's so many women in all these classes. You don't hear about the 10 or 15 that fall away and end up fading away. That they stop going to the gym and they just stop posting on social media, and they end up seriously messed up. How
many calories is Rosie diet on?
I don't know.
Okay.
No. But Patrick was prepping her, and then she was prepped by Shelby Stance. Very, very well respected.
Very respected.
I want to get Shelby on, actually. I've actually messaged him. I want to get him on. So, yeah.
So the moral of the story, if you're coach, if you're competing in bikini...
And if you're advocating this kind of thing, we're watching, and we are coming for you.
No, but seriously,
I'm actually being serious because
this is a big problem.
There's these people, they need to be called out.
And there's more of these people than people messing their up with steroids right now in the men.
Yeah.
Because there's so many bikini girls now.
In fact, this girl I was speaking to today, she was saying there was a big media outlet that actually interviewed this guy. Now, the thing is, when we bring on people, we know a lot about them. We know that they're credible. We know that they've, we've done our research. We're not just some name we've pulled off Instagram. So, do you want to come on the show? We know about them. We've done our research. We've done our due diligence. I can't say that right. And so when sometimes these other media outlets give these other people a platform to speak, it gives them credibility. It gives them credibility.
It's very dangerous. They got to stop it. Like, so if your coach but still though, these girls got to do some own decision making though.
I know, but sometimes they don't know. They just don't know. That they trust that person they're prepping. And someone says, right, you're going to drop to 900 calories or you're not going to drop any body fat. Oh, if you want to put on some, lose some body fat, okay, take diuretics, take thyroid, take other things that really they don't need to be taken. Now, this girl, she goes, I'll never touch T3 and T4. She goes, I don't need to do it. She says, Luke hasn't got me on any of that, and I am dropping fat. My glutes are coming in like they never did before, because I said when you overdo things like thyroid medication, it actually gives you a small, squishy look. So it doesn't get you leaner. It just cannibalizes muscle tissue. It absolutely fucks your energy levels. It kills your strength. And it just, like, this girl collapsed in the gym one day.
Oh.
And then when she moved away from the team, he went and like tried bullying her on social media. And like literally, I've heard this many, many times, and it really angers me. It's not cool. It's not cool, because the thing is, there's so many people that are so enthusiastic about competing, and they love it, and it gives them so much in life. They put their trust in these people, and they're they'll have bought their followers, so they do look credible.
Oh, bought their followers.
Oh,
there's a lot of. We've
talked about this before.
Yeah, okay.
Horrible. Right.
I'm starting to unfollow, just like you now, more and more of these ass girls.
Asses, yeah.
I'm not interested anymore.
Yeah, but once you've seen it once, like, oh, that's lovely. Whatever.
Why would you keep looking at an ass you're not even going to tap?
Yes, well, yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not single, but if I was, you just think, well, what's the point of you liking or making a comment? Because you're not going to be able to connect with that girl.
No.
It's because if you are, there's 1,000 other guys that are. Oof. And do you really want to be 400th in the queue?
Number 400.
Getting it from all angles.
But it's weird.
Episode 21.
No, I started to, just like you, unfollow it, because it has no meaning. Fuck off. It's weird, and all these comments from these guys saying how beautiful they are. Why would they? It's weird.
You can imagine them just typing with one hand.
No, but when we started this global muscle thing, now we're working with Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah, buddy.
We're doing global tours with Heath.
Yeah, absolute privilege as well.
We went from Heath fan. I went from super fan. You went from a fan to friends.
Yep. Yeah, I do consider him a friend, actually.
We're gonna take him around.
Do you know why? Do you know why?
No.
Because he's got our trust now, and because we've earned it. We've earned it you think about it, right? He came on our show, episode 1. He follows everything. Like Cherie says, he stays up to like 4 or 5 in the morning sometimes. He's on everything. He looks at everything. So he'll be building up data in his mind of, okay, I like these guys. I had a good vibe from them on the show. And they'll see everything, because everything we do on social media, on forums, on all the shows, it's available to everyone has access to it. So, it's like once you see sometimes people in, with what they're doing, it's like you get a feel for the kind of person they are. So now Phil's been on again, and he's, we spent a bit of time, and he's thinking, I like these guys. I could work with these guys, So for him, it's a real acknowledgement to say, when I got the email, to say, yep, okay, I sent him all over the details, how it was going to work, the business plan, really, of how I wanted to do it. And he went, yes, I want to do it. And he said, thank you for answering all my questions in such detail. And
so that means, guys, please, at home, you see what we're doing in a very short amount of time. Just being consistent.
Yeah.
Having a good heart.
Yeah, 100%.
Good work ethic. Mm-hmm. Be on time.
Yeah, be professional.
But have a good heart.
Yeah.
That's like with everything. And a drive.
And also, AJ, look at the bigger picture. Don't look at all the short-term, people with selfish attitudes have a short-term mentality. It's all about what they can gain in the short term. It's about manipulating what they can get for themselves. Look at the bigger picture. Help others. So
use this, guys, at home. And we're not saying that we are like, you look up to us, but just saying, do the same thing in your life.
Yeah. Apply it.
It doesn't have to be about bodybuilding or fitness. Use it as the way to empower yourself, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Go for something, eh?
And also, like, like by the end of year one, we started this show in December.
Yeah.
By this December 2019, we're going to have probably 3 or 4 tours done. We're going to have
Phil Heath. We're going to get Brandon Curry.
We're definitely, hopefully going to get. Yeah, I think we'll get Brandon. It's back. It's availability.
And by this, I'm going to say it now. By this September, we're going to speak in existence. We're going to Kuwait.
Well, you said it now.
Chris,
You've said it now.
Going to Kuwait.
Yep. We're
going to film in Oxygen Gym.
Are you going to drive like you did a run?
We're going to drive. Bobby's going to hook us up with some Ferraris. We're going to train with Ahmed Ashkanani.
I'll probably get a bicycle or something if I'm lucky.
Oh, I can't wait, man. I can't wait.
No, thing is, I want to. It's like we were saying in the car. You want to go and kind of see
what's really going on.
Yeah, what's going on? I want to feel. I want to know.
I want to smell it. I want to shake touch some ass. I want to rub some.
There's no women in the gym.
Some lube.
There's no women in those gyms.
I know.
Okay. I might stay home then.
I'm pumped.
Yeah, but no, it's like we talked to Phil about this interview, mainstream interview he did with Valuetainment, YouTube channel. Yep. Very big mainstream. They had all the big heavy hitters, Ben Shapiro, Dr. Jordan Peterson. It's a big, it's like an entrepreneur convention. And it's more about connecting yourself with people that will elevate you.
Who do you want? Do you want to be on John Rogan featuring Giles?
Joe Rogan.
Or do you want to sit in a studio with Jordan Peterson? You can only have one experience.
Oh, Jordan Peterson.
So okay, yeah. Over.
I'd like to be in a studio with both of them and doing a 3-way interview. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
I'll just be sat like.
By the way, you know that prince from Norway, Shaman Durek?
Oh yeah, your best mates now.
We're DMing each other now. It's true. You see it? Have you seen it?
Well, you've showed me in the car. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whilst I was trying to drive.
So you might see me as Shaman Durek's new bodyguard.
Yeah,
and making some cheese.
Making cheese.
No, but back
Norwegian brown cheese.
No, but seriously, guys, what can I say? Be motivated.
Yeah.
Do something epic in life and go for it, huh?
Yeah. Very good advice.
Yeah, and don't look at the what did you say? Shortcuts? What did you say? Don't take shortcuts?
No, don't take shortcuts. No. There is no shortcuts. We got to work hard, be good to people, treat yourself like you matter, treat yourself with respect. Don't be it's like, just stand your ground. And also
female bodybuilding, bro, is back
also,
in the mains.
but one I would say you're good for advice.
Okay.
But you know, there's one thing I wouldn't advise is to let AJ in your kitchen.
Oh.
See, one thing that last night I was on the phone and just
that's I'm going to say something.
And he put this is what he did. He put a bottle of fizzy, sugar-free Dr. Pepper. He put it in my freezer, and I was in my living room.
Booyakasha, you heard the sound.
And all of a sudden, I thought like a bomb had gone off.
Well, you're Steve Blackman's favorite son. He's paying you well, so you got a house cleaner every Wednesday anyway, so it doesn't matter, huh?
Yes, but my whole kitchen was completely drenched.
It's only for one day. You got the house. Where's she from? Which country is she from?
She's from Yorkshire.
You don't have Polish or like Filipino house cleaners.
Yorkshire.
Okay, in Norway it's usually from Poland and the Philippines.
Yes. So anyway, let's go back to the Pro Tour.
The Pro Tour.
Yeah, are you excited about
that? Giles,
talk to me.
Thursday.
Yep.
No, I won't go into the police in Norway might call me. Can't tell you the details. You know how you can't talk what you're gonna do on the descent.
What?
But no, I was gonna say, but I can't talk about it
loud. I thought you were gonna start singing or something.
No. Okay. The Phil Heath. It's gonna be epic, isn't it?
I want people to get to know the Phil that we've gotten to know better. Even if they can get a glimpse of it, even if they just spend a small bit of time for him, and I want people to see more of who he really is, because the more I get to know him, the more I like him.
And I can't wait that we're gonna have the Jeremy Bondia edition one. Giles gonna drive. Jeremy Bondia's gonna stay in your house for a week.
Duh.
You're gonna prep his food for a week. You're going to drive him around for a week. You're going to sell his merchandise for a week. And you're going to shake his hands for people. It's going to be epic, man.
Be great.
I can't wait.
It'll be great fun.
So, no, Phil, I can't wait, man.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
It's going to be
and we're going to, I'm even Gonna put him in a nice hotel. Gonna look after him. Gonna show him the respect he deserves. And it's just gonna, like I said, once the dates are out, just please come, because I meet us, come and interact with us. We want to meet you.
And how cool will it be when we're gonna train with Phil Heath?
Yeah,
it's just a thing to say that. Who have you trained? Who's the 2 biggest names? Just 2. We don't want all of this because we know you train with everybody in the world.
This is a funny story.
Well, who's the 2 biggest names you train with?
I want to tell my funny story.
Okay.
This
was when Triple H showed you your abs.
No. This was the 2016 Body Power. 2015 Body Power. We're training at Ultimate Fitness in Birmingham. And with Rosie, Brendan from RCSS, Sean was there, Ronnie was there. So Brendan and Sean decide to go off and train back. And Rosie goes, I'll train with you guys because I need to do back as well. So I'm left at the counter because the gym was shut. We had it open for us. It was late at night. It was about 11 o'clock at night. Very late. And Ronnie turns to me and says, Giles, what are you training? And I says, what are you training? And he says, I'm doing shoulders.
Ronnie Coleman.
He says, I'm doing shoulders. And I went, I'm doing arms. So I walked off and I did arms.
What? You didn't even train with him because he didn't do...
And it was about 6 months later and I thought, hang on a minute.
What
Ronnie was kind of hinting that... Because I could have gone, do you mind if I jump in with you? And I know Ronnie would have just gone, yeah, come on then.
So Ronnie said, come on, bro, let's do shoulders. And you said, no, I'm doing arms?
AJ, I've never told that story.
Well, you shouldn't have. You shouldn't be ashamed of yourself.
I feel ashamed. And he was,
That's bad. And the other one is?
That was it.
Okay, so you didn't really train with him. It was just like you...
Yeah,
like the time with those strippers in the club. You didn't go in back in, remember?
Yeah.
I
need to work on my decision making, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Did you see the Joe Rogan interview out today? He had some words for his haters, as he said it. What do you think?
I don't know. I think he's missing
Mr. Frank Seppe interviewed Sean Roden. Sean Roden again said, well, Jay Cutler was out of shape. Sean Ray was out of shape. Ronnie was 300 pounds out of shape.
So what?
So what's your opinion about that, Josh?
So that makes it okay. Listen, again, I think him... No disrespect to Sean. I think him and other people are missing the point. The point is, when we saw, like, Kevin DeVrone in the off-season would look like me. Slightly athletic. At best. 200 pounds. But you never saw him guest pose like that. Sean, Kevin DeVrone, maybe 6 weeks out from the Olympia, would guest pose. Just don't guest pose in that condition. I've got no issue at all with him guest posing, whatever you want to call it, out of shape, fat, small, whatever, squishy. I've got no issue with it. That's fine, but don't guest pose. Jay Cutler, I think, used to. I think 1 year, I think he shut it down. I think he says, right, I'm only going to guest pose from June onwards. But he was close to 300 pounds,
and he was huge.
Oh, it was massive. But the thing is, I would just say, look, I just wouldn't do it. Just don't do it. We all know he's going to look amazing at the Olympia.
And it's so weird, isn't it?
Everyone's like, but you just think you know what you're talking. It's like, we all know he's going to look great at the Olympia. It's like, duh, I know that.
And that last video, you can check it out, MPC Online, I think it is, isn't it? MPC Online.
And also, Frank Seppe, turn your microphone down. It's got... No, he just needs to turn it down.
Frank Seppe is a fantastic man.
I drank red wine with him at the Arnold last year with him and Maz and Ali, and my friend Crystal. I walked into the hotel as I arrived, because I arrived early on the Wednesday, and I went over because Crystal was waiting for me.
Can you put on Frank Seppe one time on Google when he was younger? Oh, caramba. Have you seen how he looked back in the days?
Oh, he was amazing. He was big. He was like a 280, 290 guy.
Huge. Yeah. But it looks like...
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, but Sean Roden's gotten that, like... He talking about his haters now, and he's gotten like rude attitude now.
Yeah,
it's weird.
Heavy wears the crown.
But bro,
do you think there's just too much in the era of social media nowadays? Do you think that there's just too much pressure and too much that they see and they impacts upon them?
Yeah, but it wasn't like that before guest posing.
What do you mean?
No, he wasn't like this. Like
you think,
his demeanor has changed after his backlash from the guest posing.
So you think? Oh, right. So since he didn't even do any interviews before then, did he? And now he's doing interviews to shout at the haters.
You can find Frank Seppe on Google. Frank Seppe.
Should we got a few shout outs?
Can I find Frank Seppe?
SEPE.
No. Frank SEPPE?
No, he's too busy interviewing bikini girls. No, he does. He does what he does. He's a very good interviewer, actually.
Who?
I like Frank.
Or who are we talking about now?
Frank?
Oh, yeah. I thought you said Chris can't. You found them. Take a look, Giles, for people at home.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Wow.
Look, go all the way up to the right. Yeah.
Looks like Superman.
Left.
That was the Iron Man,
press that one.
Pro Iron Man.
Now this is a marketable look, huh?
Yeah. Nice guy as well. Nice guy. Tall. You like it? Yeah. You're tall. Tall bodybuilder.
You like him? He used to compete in bodybuilding, of course. It was back in the day, but yeah.
Very good. Still in good shape as well.
Great shape.
He was flashing his arms that night, actually, in the hotel bar.
A really marketable look, Frank Zeppe.
Yeah,
it's great to see that he's still very active in the scene.
Yeah.
Because we have so many guests.
Yeah,
this
we're
episode.
going to have to cut this intro short. I'm very sorry, but it's been.
How long are we going for, Chris? 30. Okay, yeah. We got
10 minutes. Got 10 minutes, and then we'll do a shout outs, and then we'll wrap up with a few minutes, and then we'll go straight to our first guests.
I hope Margie gonna show some muscle today.
She's gonna show some muscle
because she won the Toronto Pro.
Margie's not shy at showing her physique.
She's gonna do the Omaha Pro.
Yes, Omaha Pro. Yeah,
and then she's gonna do the Rising Suns Phoenix Pro.
Yeah.
Where she'll be challenging
Alina Puppa.
I don't think she'll be in even the second place. I think Monique Jones will be in second place this time. It'll be a proper battle between Monique and
I think Margie's going to be hard to beat. I think Margie's undefeated. I think she's unbeatable right now.
Guy, Giles.
She got like JJ Marsh legs.
And the femininity, the smile.
I love Margie. Do you know what? Margie's
clean lines, size.
Margie has made me a fan of female bodybuilding again.
Fantastic.
Yeah, she's got all the qualities and embodied. Right, should we get a shout out?
Let's go out to my first shout out is to all right. Okay, you can go. He's first.
Oh yeah, this is Matt Worth.
So who's this?
Friend of mine. He's ex-military.
Okay.
He does a lot of security work, and sometimes he'll do the occasional night in my local supermarket doing the security. I think he just does like one every. I see him there maybe once a month on a Friday night for a couple of hours. And you can see he's jacked guy, very jacked. Always in great shape. He loves the show. He watched
Matt Jow.
And do you know what he said to me?
JCW.
AJ, do you know what he said to me once?
No.
He preferred Muscle News Weekly to Global Muscle.
What?
That's what he said to me.
Why?
Well,
so why would we give him a future? Why? Why would he say that?
He said that. He says, no, I actually prefer Muscle News Weekly, which I've actually stopped now.
Oh,
no, it's all about Global Muscle now. Sorry.
That's weird.
Yeah, that's weird. This one show, I did. Do you know how many hours I spent editing that show?
We have Phil Heath and Ronnie Coleman and Vince Taylor.
You had
and
me
Margie.
and Rosie and we had all those. We had it was more.
Oh, he was fast there today, Chris.
Okay, yeah, he's racing through him.
Yeah. So this is my shout out. Do you know who that is?
I have no.
Go down. Go down. All the way down. Press him.
Epic beard.
Go down. Don't press that one.
Good beard.
So don't press it. So this is Jinder Mahal. He's a wrestler. Mm-hmm. He used to be a nobody, what we call a jobber, a scrub, something you just book to lose matches.
Oh, I see on the wrestling circuit.
Yeah, keep him there. Yeah, Jinder Mahal. He does the WWE. He's from Toronto. He's Indian living in Toronto.
Okay.
Then he got fired. Instead of going, he went home, started drinking alcohol for a couple of months. Whew. Then almost took suicide.
Oh, shit.
And then he said, fuck, I'm going to come back. Then started eating 7 times a day, doing cardio every morning, like you, doing weights at night, prepping his meals.
Liked by Bobby Lashley.
Came back from a jobber to become WWE champion.
Oh, really?
And nobody has ever seen that before.
Okay.
From a jobber to the champion, just because he's changed his life.
Well,
threw away alcohol.
I think. Ooh.
Started dieting, training.
Okay.
And since Vince McMahon loves muscle, he became the new WWE champion.
He looks very tall.
He's 6'5".
So that's very tall.
That's very tall. Yeah, so that just shows you what you can do with a new motivational life. So Jinder Mahal, my shout outs to you.
Yeah.
I hope one day to give you on Global Muscle, bro.
Yeah, let's try and get him on. Him and Bobby Lashley.
Oh, Bob! Have you seen his straps? It's up to his knee.
Yeah,
he's like Johnny Jackson.
Do you know the one? When I would flick through the. Do you know the one wrestler that always quite impressed me was that Barbarian guy?
Or the white ball guy, the Barbarian brothers,
and Goldberg. Goldberg.
No, who's next?
Big neck.
Who's next? Shout out.
Can you be a wrestler if you haven't got big traps?
Yeah, these days you can be like a Daniel.
And you
have seen Daniel Bryan?
Okay.
Like a troll.
AJ, I see your 6'5" monster, and I raise you. Martyn Ford.
That's even a taller guy. He's not as big as Jinder Mahal, but...
what? He's bigger?
No.
AJ.
He's taller. He's not bigger.
No, AJ. Chris, who's bigger? Martyn Ford or...
That's Photoshop.
Yeah, he's bigger. You're blinded.
Yeah, okay,
You're
he's
blinded.
bigger.
Okay. Yeah, this is Martyn Ford. Now, if you
Tell
look,
us more about it, because he's from the UK. You know him probably.
yeah, Martyn Ford. I first saw him at Body Power a few years ago, and he was on one of the. I think it was the Jekyll and
Who's that
Hyde.
big guy in the middle? He's a strong man.
Eddie Hall.
Yeah.
Deadlifted 500 kilos.
Freak.
1,100 pounds. World record. It was in Leeds, actually. Not
Is he
too far.
that tall as Martin? Isn't Martin like a freak, 6'8" or something?
Yeah, he looks tall.
Is Eddie Hall that tall?
Eddie Hall, I saw in Leeds end of 2017. Lovely guy. Really nice guy. Came with his daughter to a store appearance.
So tell me about Martyn Ford.
Martyn Ford, this is the guy, obviously a big guy. Started doing some promo work for supplement companies on trade stands. You know, he was part of your friend, Rich Piana's 5%ers.
My friend.
Your best mate.
Rest in peace, Rich.
Yeah. Big fan. You're a big fan, aren't you?
Yes.
And and then a few years ago, he went from like there to like I can't even reach high. And honestly, this guy is making moves.
I know, hard work.
And you know what? He's a really nice guy as well.
Is he?
I mean, he's a terrifying-looking individual. But this guy he's constant. He's like The Rock. He's doing that TV work, film work. I think he was nominated for, I don't know the award. It was like, not the Academy Award, something like BAFTA or something, for the best fight scene with Dave Bautista.
Oh, the animal that you don't like. You're a Bautista hater. Why?
He was rude to me.
He stole one of your girlfriends or what?
No, he wouldn't compliment me on my abs, which Triple H did.
Oh, Bautista, such an amazing man.
Back to Martyn Ford. Yes, and he was good in Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy, though. I'll give you that.
And as a WWE champion.
Yeah. So Martyn Ford, yeah, he's like I said, he's a very significant. He's got a very unique look.
What did he do before acting?
I don't know actually. I don't know, but he's doing so well. Look at him.
Oh,
I mean, he's like 6'6", 6'7".
You see that guy? You see the guy to the right?
Oh,
that's the new WWE superstar, Braun Strowman.
Okay.
And he's huge, and you can tell they're the same height. Look how big they are.
Yes. Yeah, big dudes. So he's got his own supplement company. He's doing TV work. I think he drives a Lamborghini. Have a look at his car. Which one? Oh, no, he's got a Lambo. He's got a Lamborghini, I think. Not that that's an indication. I mean, you could hire these things, but it looks cool for photos, like some people do.
Is he starting to do wrestling now? There's a lot of
wrestling.
This
is the film roles, and if you look at all the people he's associated with,
yeah, I see.
Like he's training with Flex Lewis. That's another film he's been in. But you know what? I like this guy. He's got hustle. He's intelligent. He's driven, and I really want to get him on the show. I think he'd be fun. He did an interview with London Real, big podcast interview series, and you know what he did? Turned up in a full tailored suit with a tie, and you know I respect that. I just love the fact that he's got such high standards. And this is a guy who's
a young guy, 34, 35.
I don't know his age. I don't know. I mean, I met him briefly at the Olympia actually last year, and he was because Rosie was supposed to be doing a posing routine for him when he was guesting.
Posing routine for him?
Yeah, he was doing a guest posing in India with Body Power.
Wow, seriously?
Yeah. And I actually tried to choose. I tried it. I said to Rosie, I said, you've got to use "Mama's Gonna Knock You Out" by
Vince Taylor. No, LL Cool J, of course.
No, Five Finger Death Punch.
Oh no, that's good. He didn't do that then.
Yeah, I'll play it to you in the car because it's a remix. It's a good remix.
Okay, it's a remix. It's more pop friendly.
Pop. Well, it's a bit harder. It's a bit like a rock version.
It's too hard.
Come on.
I don't like it.
Well,
put some Soulja Boy on.
I'll tell Phil he likes Five Finger. Yeah, so look, it was a video. Go down. There's the makeup on. Look with the. Go down. Not shame we're back then. Yeah, so I mean, look at it. Look at him. This guy. I mean, look at the things and the people he's associated with. And this is a guy. Look at the car.
Oh, look at the legs.
Yeah, he's just.
Forget about the car.
And I don't know anyone who's got a bad. I mean, you wouldn't want to have a bad word about it, would you?
look at the legs with the girl beside him. I'm not impressed by cars.
Natalia Mazonka.
I'm impressed by legs, not cars.
What would you rather, the girl or the car? Oh, now you're thinking. Now you're thinking. Oh, let me think about that one. I'll go for the car, thanks.
I think I'll go for the car too.
Oh, no. I'll fight you for it.
Yeah, and my last shout out is...
So, yeah, Martyn, keep doing what you're doing, mate. You're doing a fantastic job, and it's great to see...
Look at those legs she got. I'll go with her instead.
It's great to see someone like you who... I followed his journey, and I like to see people that... Like The Rock. You know, it's just a constant... success and rise and hustle and achievement, and these are the people I find motivating. And because a few years ago I thought, who is this guy? Who is he? He's just this big, you know, you just think he's big, big meathead looking tattoo. You make an instant judgment, and then you see what they achieve, and it's like, I like being proved wrong. So keep doing what you're doing, mate.
My last shout out is for my guy from my gym.
Yeah, buddy.
It's Erik. He's from Norway.
Cool.
If you go down, so we see stage pictures. A little bit more down, a little bit more there to left. Mm-hmm. Okay. He competes in classic physique.
Okay.
In Norway.
Yep.
He's a very dedicated man. Very dedicated. Look here. Just keep that picture on. So that's from Harold's gym, my gym.
Fantastic.
He's 5 days a week training. Diet on point.
Yeah.
Very serious guy. No messing about. Mm-hmm. He's won all the major titles in Norway. Mm-hmm. And this year, he's going to put on more mass and dominate in year 2020.
In classic?
In classic.
Oh, he's staying in classic.
He's staying in classic. Okay, but he's going to go challenge in Europe now.
A lot of people switching to classic now.
And I think he's always been in classic. He went from bodybuilding to classic.
How old is he?
He's a young guy. He's 33 years old.
Right. So could he not just keep getting bigger and switch to? Because he looks pretty much on the limit there. That's about as big as classic guys get.
Yeah, but he loves classic.
Right.
That's his division.
Well, you can always improve your physique and make it more symmetrical and conditioned.
And press
detailed.
Press X, go all the way up. And a shout out to his all the way up. No, down. To the left there, the way he puts his finger up there. Yeah. And the guy to the right, Göran, he's going through cancer treatment right now.
Right, okay.
He's lost all his hair. Oh. That's not a new picture, you know?
Yeah.
And he's still in the gym.
Good lad.
Training, even though he's going through chemo. He had his last chemo, and I saw in the gym.
Good man.
And he said the way he's kept most of his size is by still training and eating, even though he's on chemo.
Oh, wow.
So
that can knock you sick for days. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so these guys, that's his mentor.
Yeah.
So they're going to make a new plan in year 2020.
Nice.
And he's going to put Norway on the map, Erik.
Nice. Do you know what?
So that's my shout out.
You say that Norway's like the scene's but you've featured a lot of really good Norwegian athletes on the show.
That's the crew of G's together that future. There's no more.
Crew of G's.
There's no more. So I get all the crew of G's.
AJ, you have to create some.
So Erik, follow Erik at Erik WIBB Bodybuilding.
Okay.
That's my shout out. And his fingers, nice. Number uno.
Okay. Have we got anything else to talk about?
No.
Anything else to...
In this episode, we got Margie.
Microphone.
I hope she's going to hit some most muscular for us.
Yeah. Oh, I want to see those quads.
We got the greatest poster of all time. You say it's Lila Brother. I say it's Vince Taylor. He's going to break some epic stories for us. Yeah. We have Phil the Heath announcing his global muscle tour. We have Ronnie Coleman on talking about our show that's going to be debuting at least for 1st of July by then.
Yeah. Well, before, I think, hopefully.
Global muscle on the rise.
Global muscle on the rise. Yeah, we're moving forward, mate. So that's the main thing. And I hope everyone else is moving forward in their goals in life, because it's so important, because, it's like I'm talking about Martyn Ford and people like that, to see, over the few years, and you see what they do and they achieve it. I find that kind of thing motivating. Like when I see The Rock's Instagram, when I see what Arnold's doing, and I see that the way that they are as people, they see their integrity and their ethics and the way that the things they believe in, they've never lost sight of who they are, where they've come from, and I think it's important. And I think it's important to keep pushing forward and keep working hard.
Only thing that can make us better is if Arnold Waslow turned pro and came to the global muscle, gave us some private guest posting, bro.
On the table.
On the table. Yeah. He's looking better and better each day.
Him and Margie comparing quads.
Oh, Margie got some good quads. Who's got better quads, Margie or Natalia? That's a good question.
Margie. Natalia's are big, but the thing is with Margie's, they're conditioned as well. They're separated, they're detailed.
Clean lines.
Yeah, but I'd be interested to see that Amazon actually up. Not close.
When is she going to turn pro? No, when is she going to compete as a pro?
I don't know. I want to see her.
Just walk around taking pictures? It's not the same.
I've got a feeling she's going to become an Instagram star.
No.
I think she's going to stay as that. I don't think she's going to compete.
Seriously?
I don't think she's going to nail the condition. I don't want to be negative.
You are negative now.
No. I think I don't think she's going to compete again.
I saw her in Romania Pro. When she won her pro card, she was not in condition.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. But she looks great and fantastic in pictures. And she's very
to be fair, it was a class with only 2 people.
Yeah.
Okay. And last question before we go. Mm-hmm. What's going on with our guy, Mr. Sergio Olivia Jr.? There's no shows, man.
Oh, yeah. It's not happening.
What's going on there?
I don't know. I was expecting to.
Why is he not prepping? What's going on? Why is there's no British Grand Prix? There's no California Pro.
Yeah, because
there's no Arnold Classic. There's no New York Pro. There's nothing.
Well, maybe because obviously last year he had a lot of personal issues. Maybe he needs to just get that straight. Maybe he just needs a bit of time just to take some time out and chill out.
I love Sergio Oliva. He has to come back.
But AJ, you have to have everything right, all your ducks in a row if you want to flourish.
Sergio,
compete.
we need you, brother.
Need you back up on stage.
And
mate.
Jeff Beckham also. What's going on? He also pulled out a lot of shows.
Empty, are you listening? I love you, Jeff.
Yeah,
He's cool. What a character.
Episode 20. What are we now? Who knows?
37? I don't know. 12?
Thanks to Pump Media.
Thank you, Pump Media.
MD.
Thank you to High Tech Pharmaceuticals.
Global Muscle.
I hope you enjoy this episode because I think this is a pretty special one.
And
that's why we've cut the intro
And
short.
this Christmas, we got to buy Ron Harris a new camera.
Oh, yeah.
We GoFundMe account.
Well, no, you just have to do that with your phone. Just hold it on its side.
We need a better camera.
Come on.
We need better
Come
sound.
on, Ron. Just put your phone on its side. That's all you need to do. You can get a little clip on. You can get microphones. You can go into your phone.
It's a lot of nerd things he can get. Chris.
Yeah.
What's the best advice you would give to Ron to get better sound and camera
Chris
when
looks
he's
so
out?
tired. He's been here. He's been here since 5
He
this
has
morning.
some camera work that's not legit.
Yeah. Come on, Ron. Up your game.
Send me over to America and I shall consult.
Yeah.
That's the best plan.
Yeah.
Send Chris over.
Yeah. Oh, they want Chris at the Olympia, you know, MD.
Oh, we're gonna make chaos this Olympia.
Oh, imagine you, me.
Goon, Ron, Cox, all the different female bodybuilders. Oh, they're not gonna be
Proper
here.
MDG crew.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Okay, well, I hope you enjoy this episode. And please look at the interviews. And really, I hope you enjoy them, listening and watching to them as much as we did. Because this was a real level up for us. And I feel very proud and I feel very privileged to have the legends and the fact that they gave us so much time and so much. They were so generous. And I'm going to start crying.
And I'm putting my money on Brandon Curry for this. Oh,
Yeah, I think you're right. I'm rooting for him. And we are out. Okay, bit of a special on this intro on Global Muscle today. We've got, I think we know this guy, don't we, AJ?
7-time Mr. Olympia champion.
Yeah!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, bro.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes, so we've decided to bring Phil into the intro because we've got a bit of a special announcement, haven't we, AJ?
There it says, what's this? Not 1, not 2, not
3, not 4, not 5,
not
6.
7. That's what say down there. Not 7.
Oh, pull it up.
We can't see.
Pull it up a little bit, Phil.
Not even 8. Are you telling us something, Phil?
No, I'm not telling you anything. I'm not. I'm teasing you guys.
Yeah,
Teasing us.
he's been. I don't want to say that. He's been a tease.
A CT. A CT.
Yeah. First of all, fantastic interview you did with
Valuetainment.
That was a really good interview you did, Phil.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I believe when I'm put in a different forum, different arena.
Yeah.
Shout out to Patrick Bet-David and the guys over at Valuetainment.
Yeah.
I mean, they do an incredible job. I mean, their editing, they're just super professional, and I just think that they did a fantastic job. The Vault Conference was the beginning of May. It had an incredible list of entrepreneurs, business leaders. I myself was one of the guest speakers. Patty McCord was there. She was the former chief talent officer for Netflix. We also had Peter Guber, with the chairman of Mandalay Entertainment and Film, also the owner of the Dodgers in LA and the Golden State Warriors. Being able to be around types of people. And then Michael Francese, who was pretty much a very interesting gentleman. He was the leader of the Colombo crime family.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, so it was really interesting to see like each person speak. Michael was able to talk about the politics and business in running a crime family and stuff like that. You have to learn when to speak and learn when to be quiet, knowing how to control your anger and this and that and the other. Patty was more talking about like the HR. I was
breaking up a little bit there. Lost you there, Phil, for a second.
about, the vulnerability that you guys talked about, and being able to talk about how do you get to success, how do you maintain it, and how do you encourage yourself without anyone patting you on the back to make sure that you show up every day.
So how did that come around, that Valuetainment interview? Because I noticed, because it piqued my attention because I saw Patrick had interviewed Ben Shapiro, Dr. Jordan Peterson, two of my favorites. I was like, wow, this is big, this is big time.
He's done an incredible job. He runs a insurance company called PHP Agency. It's a huge brand. He's done an incredible job. But then he realized that he needs to be able to do a bunch of how-tos online and, entrepreneurship, leadership, always having a willingness to learn. This is a gentleman that has read over 1,500 books,
wow.
With no college education. I mean, he came over, from Iran and, just self-educated, self-motivated, just an impressive human being, and has always made sure that whoever he interacts with, he wants you to take away one thing, which is that he taught you how to think for yourself. And I really like that. So when the opportunity came a couple years ago to do an interview, I was all for it because I thought, you know what? He's going to be able to pull something out of me that majority of the bodybuilding community doesn't. And we had a great time, developed a relationship, a good friendship. And then after the last year's Olympia, he was one of the first people I talked to. And he provided me this opportunity to come to Dallas and be a part of his conference, which had over, it must have been over 1,000 people from 41 different countries, all entrepreneurs,
wow.
people that have made anywhere from, $500,000 in revenue to $500 million. You're dealing with a lot of very interesting individuals. And I was just very honored and privileged to be able to speak at such an event.
Was this the conference we spoke about when you were over in the UK a few weeks ago?
Yes.
This was the one?
Yes.
Right, I thought so, yeah.
This was the one that I did 2 weeks prior to seeing you guys, yeah.
Right.
This is what we need from Mr. Olympia champions, you know? This is what we need. This is fantastic to see, Phil. And the feedback on social media is very good, isn't it, from this interview?
I think... Yeah, it was. I would definitely say it was my best interview yet. I always believe that if you put me into a situation where I have to raise my level of, intellect or fluency with different topics, I always deliver. And it's because I always wanted it.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to go up there and be vulnerable and then to really dive deep into what makes me tick. I think what we've noticed is the questions that are usually asked from me or the topics that are brought up about me within the bodybuilding community, unfortunately, is usually just negative drama bullshit. And it's usually stemmed from that. And I think once we all can take a view of this video, we realize, wait a minute, this whole time we didn't know anything about this guy because we weren't asking the right questions.
But in that...
I think it was great.
Yeah, but in that environment, because he didn't because he joked at the end, didn't he? He says, "I'll ask another question, and Phil will talk for another 30 minutes." He clearly got the best out of you, and you were in a good environment because he didn't really do that much interviewing. You obviously got a good relationship built with him, but it really, I saw like a much more. I think you seemed like more in a natural environment, which is a funny thing to say because you're a bodybuilder and you should be more natural in your bodybuilding environment.
No, I agree with you, Giles, and I just believe that, my background, going to a great university, the University of Denver, it preps you for opportunities like this. Anyone that wants to do a Wikipedia of the University of Denver Alumni Association, you'll see some impressive men and women that have done all kinds of incredible work. I just believe, like I said, I always try to prepare myself for whatever opportunity that may come my way. Yeah. And this was one of them. And you guys saw me after I won my 7th Mr. Olympia title. All my Mr. Olympias, I always made sure that I knew what to say and how to deliver it. Yeah. And it wasn't ever scripted. It was more just speaking from the chest and knowing who I am and then delivering that message when the time is right. A lot of people are normally seeing me like, the dream killer, the fuck you, and this and that. And it's really, I'm never really. I mean, we hung out for an entire week, you know, and you know, you guys were like.
Say that one more time for the people at home.
Dylan Armbrust is here watching the video actually of the valuetainment thing.
Went to Nando's with Phil.
And he's laughing because he's probably seeing one of my jokes. But you know, it's just a really good opportunity, and I want those opportunities. I just believe that I was always held back in this industry because they never put me in a position like this. I mean, we saw the Generation Iron interviews. You know, they've done better. Those were better. But the film itself didn't portray me in the right light. So I think that really made the fans really upset. And I talked about those things in that valuetainment interview, just about like, how did the dream killer go from the gift to the dream killer and this and that and the other? Because I had to embrace a lot of things. So when Patrick and I would visit, we just have a really good rapport. And that man, I felt so bad for Patrick because he provided us, you know, a full experience, not just with guest speakers, but also we were there to learn. So I was in class 8 hours a day.
Oh wow.
For like learning about entrepreneurship, learning about how to be a better leader, a better manager, a better HR person, like learning how to really run a business, an enterprise. And his voice was going out.
Yeah. So I could hear his throat going out.
So I told him I asked him after the interview, I said, did I show any disrespect? Because I didn't want you to have to speak because you have to still talk for another 5.5 hours today. And he was like, no, this was perfect. Like you had it, you nailed it. You like read my mind. I'm like, all right, perfect. We're good. So those are like I said, those are the type of, you know, situations I would love to be in. I feel like you know, I've posted it up online. I will continue to post it up online. We have. Because I really feel like people need to see this. And because it doesn't just apply to bodybuilders. Everyone in that room at that conference, there wasn't one bodybuilder in there. Yeah. Not one. So that was a win for our sport. So when people say that I don't do anything and this and that and the other, it's like, you need to take a different look. You need to lower those emotions. Yeah. And listen to what I'm saying. Yeah. And I truly believe that when we interact with one another, you will get that same Phil Heath if you come to me with less emotions toward like, oh, you beat my favorite bodybuilder type of thing. Yeah. You know, so I'm happy of where I'm at.
I think you're in a really good environment for growth by going to these kinds of things. I mean, we spoke about it a few weeks ago, and I was like, I really want to come next year. I really do. Yeah. Honestly, that's the kind of thing that it helps people. It helps you evolve, especially with your new businesses coming off and different projects you're going to be doing. It's actually crucial to help you succeed with these things and maximize your opportunities.
Today, Giles, you woke me up at 6 a.m. You played Milli Vanilli, Girl, You Know It's True.
I did.
Because Phil Heath said yes?
He said yes.
What's the announcement?
Yes, come on. This is what we're building up to. Yes. Phil, do you want to give the announcement, or shall I?
I'll say it real quick.
Yes.
I'm coming back to the UK.
The way you said people. Yeah.
Boom.
And it was you know, I will pump up you guys for a minute. When we got to chat over at the Body Power, you know, we're able to have some real cool moments. And AJ, you're right. What I really wanted to do is just be able to sit down with you both, hear you guys speak, listen to what I'm doing, and then hopefully find a way to do business together of some sort. And that's what this sport is about, is relationships. And we were able to do that. AJ was, you know, shout out to AJ because he really made sure that I knew that there was value in the UK, and along with Giles. You guys collectively made a nice proposal, and we're going to do a 7-day tour in the UK at various gyms. Giles, you're going to be able to explain that. I'm going to come out there, and I'm going to be in fucking great shape. And we're going to have a great time.
Yep.
I want every person to be able to get their tickets, or get their gym session, figure out where we're going. Yep. You need to be there. If you're not there, you're going to miss out on something very special because I'm coming there for you. So I'm excited, and I can't wait to see you guys.
Yes, so we've literally we just confirmed it this morning. So we're going to be working out the dates, working out all the where we're going to be going in the UK. So it's first come first serve basis, but we're excited, aren't we, AJ?
Really excited, really excited.
And do you know what the main thing is? I was so pleased that Phil said yes because
and Delaney is hooking up some new Phil Heath merchandise too.
Yes, so we've heard a rumor. Bespoke.
Yeah, but, we definitely want to make. Yeah, we want to make sure that as long as we can get the dates done right, and logistically I can get some cool merch made. I would like to make some limited edition UK tour, hats or shirts, because that's what this is about, man. Like you gotta go the extra step. So I want to go the extra step for you, and come out and hang out, literally hang out during the summer months, which I never have done. I've never traveled overseas during the summer months, during what we would call Olympia prep time.
The main thing is because you were our first guest on Global Muscle. You were the first to say yes. You supported us, and you've kind of motivated us, haven't you? Really, you were the first. Yeah, Chris is nodding there. It's and it really, it seemed right that Phil was the first. Really. So we want you to have a good time. We want everyone who comes to those seminars and everything else, we want them to have a good time. We want them to learn. I want them to see what myself and AJ have seen, the way we've connected when we spent time together and we spoke back and forth and we laughed and joked and we've shared stories.
Absolutely.
And sort of, that's my main motivation for doing this is I want you to go home and I want you to go home to Sheree and say, do you know what? That was a fantastic week. I had a great time. I was taken care of. Those guys really looked after us, and and I just want it to be a really, really fun-packed week, and I want people to see the real Phil Heath. I want them to really get to know you.
Speaking of, how's your training right now? Because we saw you in the flesh, looking incredible. How's your training regimen right now?
Well, right now, I woke up this morning at 266 pounds, 266, 265. So I'll probably get up to 269, maybe 270 if I'm pounding a ton of water. But I'm actually here at Armrest in my office right now about to do cardio. Oh. So I'm going to do probably 35 minutes on the incline treadmill, and then come back later today after I handle some business at home. Probably train. What am I going to train today? Probably back. Yeah, I'll probably do back today. But yeah, the training has been going well. Knock on wood, injury free. My core is feeling a lot better. It seems like I'm getting stronger week after week, which is great. No twinges, no real concerning issues there. Just having to make sure I stretch a lot because I am getting a little older. So I got to warm up a little bit. But the training has been fun. And I think that's what has made my body grow more is the fun aspect. When you're, training for the Olympia, sometimes it wasn't fun. It was more aggressive and overly aggressive and so much noise going on. And that's why when I posted on my IG the other day about reducing the noise and focus on one's own frequency, that's when you start having more eternal, personal happiness. So my training has been good. I have the best equipment here over at Armrest, really great environment. Everybody's been super nice because they see me back and they see me killing it. Yeah. So I'm, exciting. I expect to hover around, I'd probably say I'd still probably be in the 260s for quite some time while lowering the body fat. And, I've got some projects coming up, so I'm definitely going to be in shape for that. But overall, I'm just thankful that I can be in the gym and really do what I love and find a new love in the gym, because when you win 7 Mr. Olympia titles, I mean, there's nothing else you need to prove. But for me, it's like setting different goals up here and then here. And that's what's been really motivating for me. And also to see, like, it's funny. We talked about this in the UK quite a bit, guys. Like, it's like when you're winning so much, people get resentment. And I think a lot of the time that resentment came from the fact that I wasn't posting a lot of videos of myself. So it was like I was withholding information or withholding content. And they just wanted to see me. And now after it's like, oh, I lose. And then now the emotions go down. And now everyone's frequency tunes into what's Phil doing. Now they can accept and appreciate what I am putting out. So it's been really cool to see, like, the positivity. You go from the villain to the hero. And, that, or anti-hero, whatever it is. But I think what's been really neat is the positivity I've seen, because I deserve it. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, I fucking do, guys.
You do.
Because I give my life to this.
Yeah.
Just like every other athlete, we give our lives to this to help motivate someone that we'll probably never meet. And I've been able to read those messages from various fans around the world. And, I just want to say thank you for everyone that has showed that love and support and appreciation. I now do it for myself, but also there's a large percentage of it that I do for the fans, of staying in the gym and staying motivated, staying positive and stuff, because it's like, good energy meets good energy meets greater energy. Yeah. You'll get more out of me this way, So I'm happy.
That's so great to hear. I mean, I've seen the shift. Just even in the last year, just sort of public perceptions. And I think, like, by you doing things like these valuetainment interviews and, like I said, myself and AJ have got to know you a lot, much better. It's nice to hear that you're in, training is fun again. You've seen, I can even see Cherie's social media. You seem very happy and you seem very relaxed. And it's like,
well, if you've seen the food she's making, you will be happy too. Yeah. Have you seen those pictures?
I'm just hungry, man.
Isn't she incredible?
Yeah. Amazing. I know.
It's just amazing. But yeah, I think what happened, to summarize that, is that you can ask Hani, and maybe you guys should get him on, because he would tell you.
Yep.
We would win these shows. I would be on stage that night thinking, okay, they're going to call your name. Okay, you could have done this better, this better, this better. I'm already critiquing the shit out of myself at the fucking night show of what I could do next year. And that's just how my brain is wired. But now I kind of took a step back. And like I told you guys, during those months of inactivity due to my surgery, I started thinking, man, if you don't thank your body, like Cherie would be like, you need to thank yourself every fucking day. You need to thank that body of yours for holding up that long and going through all that adversity and still winning 7 in a row. No one else can say that. Like, no one else can really come up to you and be like, I've done the same thing. So I started doing that. And it just made me, like, become more appreciative and show more gratitude to myself. And that, it's like self-love is great. Like, real authentic self-love is awesome, because then you take care of yourself, so then you can take care of other people.
Yeah.
And I think that's what people are seeing now, is that I actually accept the fact that I've won the Olympia 7 times. See, I never really put my head into it like that. Like, wow, I won 7 times. I would say it to you guys for promotional purposes, but it was more like, my job's not done until I do this or do that. It's like, man, you need to appreciate what the fuck you just did. You beat some incredible guys throughout your career. I mean, really, no one can say that I've gone against weak competition. No. I've gone against the Dexter Jacksons, the Jay Cutlers, the Kygries, the Dennis Wolves, the Branch Warrens. I mean, all in their prime at some point. That's pretty impressive. So I look at those guys, and I know I left some other people out, but I have to thank myself, man. And that's why I try to tell people now, learn to thank yourself. If you did something good, thank yourself, but don't stop. Keep going. But, you know, you can say, man, I'm glad that you didn't quit. I'm glad that you kept going. I'm glad that you tuned out that noise. I'm glad that you just put your head down, you read those books, or you studied yourself, and you learned about who you are. You didn't take no for an answer. Thank you for believing in yourself. But then keep going. But thank yourself. And I think, you know, if I can do that, I think everybody should be able to kind of do that. Because in the end, you know, you don't know when your expiration date is. So you would hate for your life to be gone, and then never thank yourself for sticking it out, for having that courage. You know, and I'll be honest, guys, I had to thank myself for having the courage to be disliked, you know, because right now, I don't even know who the hero is in this sport and who the villain.
Yeah, we were just, myself and AJ were talking about this in the car. Everything's kind of a little bit up in the air at the moment.
Let's say you don't do this Olympia. Who do you think is gonna? Who do you like the most? Bonac, Roden, Rowley, or Curry?
You didn't even put in Dexter Jackson.
And Dexter Jackson.
It's interesting.
All those guys could do it, and I could give you a bunch of reasons why each person could. I think the fact that if you take me out of the equation, I mean, look, if I show up, everybody knows. Like, I don't need to do all that. I don't need to do all that because that's not what this is about. No. But I definitely think that, you know what I'm seeing right now, and I'm just going to say it so that I can maybe trigger some of these guys. Is that I don't see you guys training hard enough right now. I don't see the intensity hard enough. I don't see anything. And maybe that's because, you know, you guys think that, you know, like I'm not around or this, that, the other. And it's probably that. Because right now, I don't see shit.
Really?
I don't see any hype. And I'm not talking about from the Olympia brand. I'm talking about from the athletes.
Yeah.
I know they're training hard, but, you know, I think what we're seeing now is like people go by who's the champion. And when you see people that are not as, you know, inspiring and this and that and the other as people think, you don't train as hard. I don't see, do you guys see the fire right now? I don't see any fire. And from years past, like, shit, like, and that's not good. That's not good. That's not going to sell a damn thing. So, you know, I don't know who's going to win. If I'm not there, I don't know who the fuck's going to win. I tell you this, though, Dexter Jackson has a very good chance, in my opinion, as long as he takes care of him.
Yeah.
To me, he's top 3. No question about it. Him, top 3.
There seems to be a bit of... Yeah. There seems to be a lot of people...
I think he's top 3.
Yeah.
I think that's top 3. I mean, he's not out of shape. He wasn't out of shape. You know, off season, I've seen him.
Yeah.
I look forward to actually seeing him in person, you know, when I come to California for a little bit.
How is he?
What's that?
Sorry, how is he still so hungry after 20 years as a pro?
Because he fucking loves it.
Yeah. I love it.
You know, like he and I come from, like, when I turned pro, he was approaching his prime, right?
Yeah.
I turned pro in 05, so that I believe he had just won the Arnold Classic.
Yep.
You know, and 3 years after that, he won the Olympia. So I got to see him enter his prime, take a dip, and then resurge as, you know, a multi-Arnold Classic champion.
Yeah.
The resilience in him has inspired me. See, stuff like that is inspiring.
Even to you, even to yourself.
Absolutely, because I'm 39 and I don't lie about my age like other people do. You know, there's a lot of guys on tour that have been lying about their age for years.
Yeah.
I'm 39.
Yeah, I'm 39 too. I'm 39.
You know, so I can only imagine a person 9 years my senior, 10 years my senior.
Incredible.
Is going through.
Yeah.
I mean, so Dexter Jackson's a true testament of iron will, and running his own fucking race.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of us could learn from his example. It's hard to do that, though. I can be honest. It's hard to run your own race while you're staring at other guys online, like trying to be better than them. He never changed his training for anyone. He did it because he wanted to.
Yeah.
So I think he should get a great look in that top 3. If he doesn't, then there's something wrong.
Yeah.
Because he's probably one of the more complete guys up on that stage. I mean, you know, he's a champion. So, you know, I think of him, you know, if Sean leaves the door open, I mean, look, all you got to do is just write down or look at the placings of the last 5 years with those individuals that we mentioned.
Yeah.
It's up in the air. I don't even know who's winning, who's won more out of those 5 guys. Take me out of the equation. Who's beaten who the most? I mean, maybe that's something we can all, you know, there's some stat guy out there, some internet guy that'll do it for us probably, but I think that's how I view other sports, right?
Yeah.
You know, so who's the percentages? He won here, but then he placed 4th here, or he got 2nd here, but placed 7th here, or, you know, flip-flopping and stuff like that. So I think there's no front runner. But if I were to put money on anything, I would probably put it more on Dexter right now.
Yeah, that's interesting.
That's interesting. Because I really feel like he sees this opportunity, and I know, I know his mind a little bit better being around him because I study him. I just think that he has the ability to pull off probably one of the greatest bodybuilding achievements we've ever seen. If his body can say yes, if his body says hell yeah, then these guys are in fucking trouble. If it says you know, then you know it'll be the top 5 placing. But I think in my eyes, he's top 3. That's just how I feel, and that's no disrespect to any of these guys. It's just my fucking opinion. You know, it may not play out that way, but I think they all should be concerned with themselves. Sean is obviously back in the gym, and they all better fucking train, and they all fucking better bring it. Otherwise, they do a disservice to themselves and the opportunity to be Mr. Olympia.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Okay, Phil. Well, tomorrow morning, myself and AJ, before I'm taking him to the airport, I'm going to take him to your hotel where we're going to be putting you, your secret location. And I'm going to get some pictures of where we're putting you. Get things hyped for the
But this
tour.
summer is going to be great because Phil Heath has some things we can't say right now, but he's got some major announcement this summer, don't you, Phil? That you're going to talk about later. That's going to be epic. 4 things, isn't it?
It might be 5.
Wow, he's been busy.
It might be 5. You know what I've managed to do over the past 2-3 years is exercise this, and if people have noticed, they're like, "What are you doing? This and that." You don't see me playing video games. You don't see me doing Netflix. You see me reading more books and stuff like that. You see me going to these conferences and stuff like that. I'm showing that I have a greater willingness to learn new things. So I've been applying those things into various businesses, and opportunities have come about from that. And I'm very excited to share it with everybody here pretty soon. It's not what everybody thinks it's going to be. Well, some people may say, "Oh, I thought it was this," but there's a lot of logs on the fire, and that's what this is about. You know, being able to look at guys like Schwarzenegger. He didn't just win 7 Mr. Olympia titles. He won 6 in a row and then left and then came back and won 7 and had all these different businesses and this, that, and the other. We respect Arnold a lot, probably because of that.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, absolutely.
Because he wasn't one-dimensional. He didn't stop at just being a bodybuilder. He always said, I think it was in Pump and Iron, he said, "I retire, but I'm always going to be a bodybuilder."
Yeah.
And I look at myself in a similar light because I didn't go to college for no reason. You know, so I'm trying to use every resource I have to make sure that, number 1, I'm not bored.
Yeah.
Number 2, I create real legacy. Number 3, I create wealth within my own likeness. Number 4, make sure that my narrative is stronger than what we've seen on, line with dipshits. And
there's some.
Yeah, I mean, you got the dipshit crowd, and you got stuff like what I did with Valuetainment. I mean,
did you see?
Disparity.
Funny, you said to us. You said to us a few weeks ago. You said, when you do these mainstream type of interviews, look at the YouTube comments. He says there's a complete disparity in the types. I mean, me and AJ were looking through them last night at the house, and they were all overwhelmingly positive and respectful. And I loved it. It was great to see. It's great to see. They understood you. They understood you.
Well, those are the people that carry a blank canvas when they meet someone, right?
Yeah.
They don't walk in with. And you know what's funny? I will tell you this. I did get a couple of people at that conference that said, I saw you on the panel. You're the only one without a suit on. I thought you were going to be some fucking meathead asshole, this, that, and the other. I saw some of your videos and saw what people were writing about you. So I already walked in thinking, oh, this guy's going to be some fucking prick, this and that and the other. And I'm like, whoa. Okay, tell me how you really feel. And then the guy told me to my face, and he goes, but after hearing you speak, he was like, those guys don't know who the fuck you are.
Yeah.
He was like, they just do this shit for their own clicks and stuff like that.
Yeah,
They're just,
that's it.
That whole thing is just a small majority. We are people that will buy your products and services.
Yes.
We are the billions of people. And I thought about that. So I started looking at a lot of my emails and messages, and I'm like, you're right. And then I get a text message from Patrick, and he goes, Patrick Bet-David, and he says, have you looked at the comments? You've turned more haters into fans than I've seen.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, well, I have you to thank because you put me in the right forum where I could actually express myself clearly without being misunderstood so damn much.
And you spoke your truth.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, and it's funny, right?
Honest.
When I sit back, it's funny, Giles, we talked about this the other day. When you don't control your own narrative or when you don't speak your own truth, other people will do it for you, and they'll always do it bad.
Like Generation Iron 1.
They'll always, well, not just that. I mean, let's just call it out. I mean, I've done interviews with people, and then 2 weeks later, they're talking shit about me.
Yeah.
I've had people accuse me of things that I've never done, and this and that, and throw stones at me and this and that. But I always say this. Sometimes in life, you have to realize that the negativity from others will be so loud that they do it so then they drown out the positive things that you ever do.
Yeah.
And it's just weird. It's more about them than me. I mean, I really believe I'm not going to play the victim in this stuff. I just feel that if people were to kind of dive deeper into these type of interactions that we have here, and then also the ones that I have with Valuetainment and other medias like that, they'll realize that I represent. And, like we talked about in England, I was like, man, name another bodybuilder that's been on the cover of the New York Times sports page. Name another bodybuilder. Name them, I'll wait. Name another fucking bodybuilder that's done that. I'm doing that to represent an entire world, regardless of federation or anything like that. I'm the only one. So that means something. That means that my hard work, I want people to understand that bodybuilding is great, that bodybuilding is positive, that bodybuilding is life. And when you get those other ones that just want to focus on we heard that he said this or Phil said this about this guy, and half of it's made up bullshit, more than half of it. It drowns out stuff to those kids that are very impressionable. It drowns stuff out to the bodybuilding enthusiast.
Yeah.
But you know what's funny? The person outside of our sport that just occasionally lifts and just wants health and wellness, they have a different IQ. They know that that's bullshit. It's very weird. It's very interesting. They know right away. They're like, man, those guys are just fucking idiots. They know right away. So it's probably because they don't feed into drama.
Yeah.
So, because they realize there's politics and they're probably in their workplace. That's bullshit. So they see that.
They're not clickbaiting.
Well, they see it coming a mile away. So I always encourage people to do their homework a little bit better. Try to lead with different emotions and stuff. Maybe I care too much. And when people would say oh, he's insecure, he's this, that, you know what? I fucking am. And everybody is, to a degree. Everybody's insecure. And you know what's funny? The people that are the most successful people that we know. That's because true. They do care. They give a shit.
Yeah.
They care that much that they want things to be perfect. Perfectionists, you think they don't care? You think they don't care? They care so much because they put their life into it. You know who isn't really showing any insecurity? Is the person that's lazy as fuck.
Yeah, that's right. Phil, do you know what? Can I say one thing? One thing I would love to see, because like I said, I keep going back to this valuetainment. I think it was really valuable for what you did for yourself, for bodybuilding, for who you are and who you're becoming. I would love to see you do like a 2-3 hour interview with Joe Rogan. I would absolutely. I think that gotta do it. They've had Dorian on.
I think maybe one day that'll happen. I have new management.
Okay.
Now, and we'll talk about that another time. But
okay.
I don't think it's not that they wouldn't approve of it. I just think that the timing has to be right.
Right. Okay.
I think Joe Rogan is a valuable resource to a lot of people, especially on his podcast. I just think that my message would have to not be drowned out by questions about PEDs and smoking weed.
Yeah.
We want to see Phil Heath with LeBron James, bro. What am I, Joe Rogan?
Well, you know, it's I'll expand real quick. Like I said, I haven't met Joe. I would love to meet him. I would love to actually watch his comedy show live, here in town next time he's in town.
I think you two would click.
Oh, I think so too.
I think straight away you two would click because he's a sportsman, he's a cage fighter. I think he'd really click.
Hey, Dylan, you think I do well? You think I do well on Joe Rogan?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, see? Joe, get him on.
Yeah.
But I think you guys would have a good conversation.
Be fantastic.
Yeah. I think we'd have a good combo. I just wouldn't, like I said, I just would not want the conversation to get drowned out by,
3 million views.
Get 3 million views.
The dark sides of bodybuilding.
No. I disagree. I disagree, Phil. I think he would straight away get a feel for your character. I think even if you spoke briefly before and you did a bit of research, I honestly do. No, I do feel. I think because he's a cage fighter. He's a sportsman. He understands nutrition. He understands training.
Right.
I think it would be a positive move.
I'm not saying. Yes, I agree. I'm not saying that I would walk into it thinking negatively. I just think it would require us to probably have a cocktail somewhere, and
tequila.
You know what? Based off of that interaction, we'd probably be like, "Oh, we're gonna kill this," know.
Yeah.
And I just think timing is everything. I think I hit him up on Twitter not too long ago because a lot of people were tagging me saying like, man, we want you on here. And I said, well, timing is everything, but I definitely would do it. I think it would be something that if the timing is right, just like the whole valuetainment thing, it would be very, very impactful. Because that's what I want. I want to impact the world. I want people to know that when they think of health and fitness, when they think of bodybuilding, they think of me. And they think of me because I want you to get better. I want you to go after whatever it is to kill those dreams. When they say dream killers, like kill the dreams to become realities. Like you can dream all you want, but kill it. Make it reality. Make it happen. Be great. Have your own personal form of greatness. But then what is real greatness? You know what real greatness is? Doing something awesome and having that be reflected back onto you by inspiring other people to do the damn thing. So that's what I want. And it's like that message, like, I want people to have that because I know what it feels like to be the best. And I know what it feels like to want the best from myself. I want people to want the best from themselves. So I think, it'd be neat to, I ain't going to do that hot box sweat shit that Joe Rogan's been doing, that damn sauna. I know that.
Is that infrared? Is it all infrared?
I don't know. I don't think there's no way that's infrared because infrared will not go up to 200 degrees. I just think it's a hot box.
Oh, really? Because I know they do the cryotherapy. He does cryotherapy. I didn't realize he'd done the hot box as well.
One question before, because Joe Rogan, I don't. Who's going to win the NBA title this year, Phil? It's 1-1 Golden State, Toronto.
I'm going.
Who's going to win?
Golden State should win. Golden State should win. It would, that last game was really awful because Toronto, Toronto did not capitalize on 8 possessions in the fourth quarter where they were basically going back and forth with the Warriors, and then both teams were missing shots or turning the ball over. You can't have that many possessions where Golden State does not convert and you don't convert at all at home while 2 of their best players are out. That isn't like so. And Kyle Lowry, we got to talk to his girlfriend, wife, or someone close to him. You need to motivate him because
horrible game.
9 points is not going to get it done in the NBA Finals. It's always interesting because the cream always rises to the top, and you can tell with Kawhi Leonard's demeanor when he doesn't show a lot of emotion, but you can kind of tell when he feels super confident when he doesn't. And maybe that's just my basketball IQ, but I feel like Golden State, I believe, they played 2 games in Toronto. They have 3 in Golden State, right?
Yeah.
So they do the 2-3-2 format in the finals only. Golden State can win 4-1. They can run the table on these guys because they're going to figure them out. And I say Golden State in 6. But if Toronto were to win, it will take all 7 games. It will take all 7 games for them to do it because they're not going to steamroll this team. They're just not. And
Phil Heath's going to be
Did you just hear me going,
No, but
like actually, I just found myself doing that.
Phil Heath's going to be a basketball coach sometime in the future. Is that correct?
Oh, wow.
The only way I would do that is if I were to once I get all these other projects going and successful, I would love to have, probably like 3 different teams, like,
oh wow,
but both boys and girls. Like I'd want both boys and girls, not on the same team, but like, different, and work with kids on development, player development, and then leadership. I would love to be an assistant coach to someone that has a greater basketball mind than I do, but I would be the voice of reason of leadership and teamwork and player development. But I'd love to do that because basketball taught me things that I still use today.
Yeah.
Basketball taught me things that helped me win the Olympia.
That's clear.
Yeah.
So,
but I would hate to be the angry dad though.
So are you 2 going to shoot some hoops when he comes to the UK for our pro tour, Global Muscle?
Patrick Moore said he can take you out in basketball. He said it on our last show.
I don't believe he said that. Did he? Oh, yeah. Yes, he did. Yes, that's correct.
I asked him if he can beat you 1-on-1. He said, "Yeah,
easy."
He said.
he probably could. He's a little younger. He's a little bit more aggressive. I'm sure, but you never know.
Okay.
I can say this: can he shoot with a beer in one hand and shoot with the other hand?
Oh, that's a talent. That's an interesting talent. Yeah.
So this summer, Phil Heath is coming to the UK.
Yeah, we're going to release the details.
Right.
Sorry, we're going to release the details on the MD Forum and obviously on this show. We've got a few episodes before this of the schedule will be going out all on our social media. Obviously, the Instagram names all popping up on the show as we talk. So, Phil, we absolutely, honestly, I screamed this morning. He was still asleep. I was up at like 6 o'clock. I was very excited. I said, he said yes. I was banging at his bedroom door. I said, Phil said yes. We're going to do it. So we are pumped, really pumped.
This is great. I'm excited. Thank you guys, and
our pleasure.
Can't wait to see the list of gyms that we're going to go to.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But to all the fans watching, make sure you go.
Yeah.
Just make sure you go, because if I have to sell one thing, I'll sell this. When are you going to see another 7-time Mr. Olympia coming to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just, when? And when are you going to see another 7-time Mr. Olympia come to you, and he's going to be in shape, and he's going to train, and he's going to...
There you go, in shape, not retired. Yeah. You know what I mean?
He's going to be in shape, and I'm going to visit with you.
Yeah.
I'll sign your T-shirts, your hat, piece of paper. I'll meet the kids. I'll do all that stuff, man. So it's I want to say that to people because I think it's important that I do a call to action and say, don't miss out on this because. Let's just say I never compete again. let's just say I never compete again. Let's say in 10 years. 10 years from now, I'm not going to look this way. And then you're like, man, I had a chance to go meet him when he was like in his prime, and I was just too busy. No, man, get your tickets, get your info, be there, and let's just make it an incredible experience for everybody.
100%.
So then the next bodybuilder who they bring will understand, well, Phil Heath came, so I got to take it up another notch if I can.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why we came to you. That's why we came to you. He was on our A list. He was like, come on, let's get Phil. Let's get Phil. I think it's going to be absolutely. We promise we'll take the best care of you, and we'll give you the treatment you deserve, Phil, because we want to have a really good time with this, and it's important that we this is done right, and we have a job.
No, I appreciate it, and I trust you guys, and you know, it's like I said, it's going to be fun. It's all about fun.
Yeah.
And you know, banging. You know, I can't wait to kick the shit out of those weights out there. That's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Just really, I mean, you ain't going to catch me wearing shit like this.
Yeah.
Okay. I may walk in with this, but it's coming off.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And that's what it's going to be about. You know, because I'm a bodybuilder. I'm an entrepreneur, but when I'm in that bodybuilding space, I want people to be able to see me turn that switch, and people say that's why he's Mr. Olympia. That's why he's 7-time. Like, look, that's why he's that guy.
Show him the 3D muscle.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Phil, we really appreciate you coming on, and like I said, once again, thank you so much for accepting to be our first Global Muscle Pro Tour. And yes, so we won't take any more of your time. You can get you back to your cardio, and
I know I'm already sweating. The fat burner that I'm on is already kicking in.
I can see his head's getting a bit sweaty.
I know. Where is it at? It's right. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, it's right here.
We can talk about
that's that secret. Oh, we can't talk about it.
That's enough. That's enough. All right, Phil.
Okay.
We'll speak to you very, very soon, and thank you for the time.
All right.
Goodbye.
Yeah, much love, guys.
Thank you, Phil. Bye-bye.
Later.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Phil's the man. Is there a cracking on this? No.
If you live in Norway, if you live in Sweden, if you live in Denmark, if you live in Germany, if you live in Belgium, if you live in Somalia, if you live in Uzbekistan, you go to the UK this summer.
Yep. We'll be releasing the dates in the next, by the time this episode goes out, within, I would estimate maybe within 2 weeks after that, the dates will be released. So,
we'll be training with Phil.
Yep, you're going to do some chest with him or legs?
We're going to do everything with Phil. We're going to
chest
puke.
AJ, what's it going to be, chest or legs?
It's going to be shoulders.
Shoulders.
And Chris from Pump Media is going to be there filming the project.
Yes.
And we will find a way to release it. We don't know how the details, but Chris will be there to film professionally.
Thing is, we could have done something with, but I wanted really high level production, which only Pump Media can bring.
Thanks to 7-time Mr. Olympia champion Phil Heath.
Yeah, big thank you there, and we'll be right back with our next special guest for episode 24 of Global Muscle Radio. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pump Media Studios, joined by my co-host, AJ, all the way from Norway. And we're joined by the Toronto Pro Champ,
Margie V.
You forgot her name there, you're too busy staring. Margie, fantastic.
What a great victory. Great victory.
Domination.
Yes, it was awesome. The girls really brought it. And I'm just really glad that I just kind of really trying to push myself to get better, more sharper, crispier, because if I try to come in like I did before or anything else, they would have freaking been right there on my behind. Yeah, so I'm happy about that.
So Margie won the Toronto Pro.
Female bodybuilding.
Female bodybuilding.
Yeah, so.
Yes.
Who came in second place?
Vera Mikulik, I believe her name is Mikulik Vera. I competed against her before. She's from Czech. She doesn't compete every year. So the last time I competed against her, she kind of I competed against her in like 2015. So she kind of whooped my butt last time, you know, we stepped on stage and everything else. So she only competes every other year or so. So didn't had the opportunity to see that, you know, again. So I'm glad.
Yeah. Were you happy with the improvements you've made from last year? Because with the last show you did, was when you went up against Alina and you took second place in the main show.
Yeah, you know, definitely happy that I, you know, made some changes. I coached myself, so I feel like that was just a little bit better for me to, you know, hone in on what I wanted it to do and how I wanted to look.
Yeah.
And I wanted to bring in something that was the same thing I wanted to bring last year, you know, but maybe just a little bit less, just more pop, you know. So I just, you know, certain things you don't know how the judges won or everything else. So you just really have to be happy with what you bring. And so I wanted to bring something that was really sharp and full and, you know, gorgeous, you know, some really gorgeous muscle.
I've got to be honest, that's one of the most, sorry, I keep asking questions. That's one of the most, I've got to say that has to be one of the most, best female bodybuilding packages I have ever seen. The only time I can think of a more, or as much, was when like Linda Murray was at her absolute peak.
Yeah.
How was the feedback from the judges of your look?
You know, I don't normally ask the judges.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the scorecards normally tell me where I'm placing. Like if I do well, then I'm right there on point. If I don't, then I'll go back and fix what I think. You know, normally hand in hand with is going on with what they say. I normally see the same thing. So it's not like something I don't know. Like people know when you don't have it, when you're missing something else. Like this time I did get some carbs in me. You know, I got a little bit more fat. Last time I was kind of, you know, reserved when it came to that. So I wasn't as tight and, you know, skin wasn't as, you know, tight and shrink wrapped as, you know, it could have been.
Oh, you mean, in the carb up process?
Right. In the carb up process.
So you tried to come in a bit fuller?
Try to come in fuller and, you know, tighter. Cause you know, like when you add the salt back and when you add, you know, a little bit of, you know, that's when your skin really gets that, you know, pull from you. And so that's what I really was trying to, you know, accomplish this time.
Yeah. You were speaking about, was Linda Murray, she was in the arena, wasn't she?
Yeah, Linda was there.
What did she tell you?
I bet she was impressed.
You know, I really was excited that she was there and to see that she could see my package because I really just want to, she's always given me tips and told me about my posing and making sure that, you know, I really get that pop. And, you know, you always want to get that Linda Murray, you know, stage presence, you know, so, and that's just what I wanted. Just a little bit bigger, of course, than she is, but I definitely want to give that homage to her and how she performs on stage.
I keep going on at the package, but I can imagine that Linda was very impressed because you do bring such a good blend of femininity, muscle, condition, symmetry, and your legs. Yeah. Oh my God, those legs are insane. I mean, that is just, honestly, it was so exciting to see the pictures on the first day, and I was like, oh my God, this is such a clear. I mean, no disrespect to the ladies, they were fantastic, but that is just one of the most impressive looks I've ever seen. Honestly, it really is. It really is.
It was fantastic.
Thank you. You know what? I'm not going to even lie to you because you get such in your brain and you get in your head, and I only take videos like when AJ asked me to take a video. That was like the first time I was like really going to take a video, and I was like kind of embarrassed and I didn't know. You know, you're critical. And then when I saw myself off stage when Sulos, he posted the video, and I was like, when he posted it, I was like, that's me? Like, holy shit, that's me? Yeah. Like, wow. Wow. So you don't even get to see that, you know, so it's really awesome.
So what's next for you now? What's the next stage in 2019?
Well, I'm doing Omaha this weekend. So I'm doing the Omaha Pro, and I'm going to have my booth there again so I can be able to sell my merch and stuff, and then try to bring in, I want to see what I do with manipulation with the salt this time. Yeah. And, you know, because you have to get on your shows, you have to do a show to know what your body wants and, you know, get familiar with the things that you need to do. You can't just say, okay, one show a year and then hope for the best that it comes out. You really need to make sure you know your body and what it's going to do.
Do you think you can improve on last week? Obviously, you're going to try a different protocol, a different approach in the last few days. Do you think you can get better than Toronto, or you just want to experiment? Or do you just want to experiment with something different?
I think I can definitely get better. And that's the whole, I really want to be really crispy. I really want to be crispy, sharp, and everything else. I don't know, like certain ways of trying to learn how to pump my glutes up, try to make sure them look a little bit harder, because I do have a lot of skin back there. So it doesn't, it's not as pretty as like Iris Kyle's ass or Juliana Malacarne, Shanika Grant. They have great butts. Sharonica Hinton.
Sharonica
I
Hinton.
love, oh my gosh.
She's fantastic.
Yes. So just trying to, really hope that I can really bring that out and get those really great lines back there. And
after Omaha, what's next?
So I'm going to see, like right now, then I just want to make sure that I can get out there and try to see some shows, try to support some female bodybuilders and try to make sure that I can recruit as many, big ass physique girls who know they damn well shouldn't be in that show anymore and try to get them into the bodybuilding circuit, because that's where it's really going to change out to.
Yeah, AJ was saying actually on our last episode, saying that some of the physique girls, the way the physique class has gone, there's some girls that really need to step over. They need to step over into bodybuilding because they're already looking like bodybuilders, and they just kind of need to maybe they've outgrown the physique class, So
I think a lot of them out. It was this one girl, and I didn't know her name, but beautiful black girl, and she got second call outs, and then when she stepped off stage, it was like watching freaking Flex Wheeler or Ronnie Coleman step off stage, and you're like, okay, all right, bitch, like you knew you weren't supposed to be in physique, right? Like, come on, come to bodybuilding and everything else. And really see it, like Jessie Martin, she really, from the Puerto Rico Pro, she really brought in a really great shape and everything else. Yeah, she's a little bit smaller, but she still has that frame that's really gorgeous for bodybuilding to build upon.
Is female bodybuilding on the rise a little bit this year? Are you feeling it, or is it
I'm feeling it.
Are we feeling a momentum now, or what? What do you think?
I do. I feel the momentum. I feel people actually making those changes and saying, you know what? It doesn't look so bad. I can actually do this and everything else. That I can make something happen, and I don't have to be a lemming, a part of the women's physique group, But the 30 of them,
But when the female bodybuilders are bringing that kind of look, female bodybuilding is going to rise back. It is.
On MD, we are some are pro female bodybuilding, and we have a lot of haters also about female bodybuilding. But when they saw you, 90% of the comments were also about how feminine you look, with how great you look also. So, but one thing, how is Alina Popa going to beat? How are you going to beat Alina Popa this time? Because she have to do something epic to beat you this time. Because I don't know how she's going to do that. Because you're looking. I'm not sure how she.
I don't know her methods and her way of rounding, but I wish her the best of luck trying to, because that's definitely something that you want. You want people to fear the fact of stepping on stage, and you want them to. I want to be afraid to go on stage. I want to be able to be. I want to not sleep at night. And push myself to that point of looking so freaking on that nothing can stop me. And then when you do that, last year, I did everything I could. I did the best that I could. So I walked away feeling great. So, when you do that, you can't lose. But in the simple fact of me trying to, I wouldn't say she's not on my radar. My radar is just making sure that I'm the most elite person. Whatever she does and how she shows up is how she shows up.
But when your competition turns up and they've improved, looking like Margie does, you're going to bring out the best in each other. You are. You're going to bring out the best in each other,
exactly.
and in yourself. You two are going to be your all-time best. I got a feeling.
But people got to go there and support the show, though, not just press likes on Instagram.
True. Good point.
When is the show? When is the Rising Phoenix show?
The Rising Phoenix is September 7th, and it's going to be at the Talking Stick Resort in Arizona. So it's going to be awesome. And the thing is that we have some really up-and-coming people that can really bring some pain. And don't let Monique Jones, who already qualified the Romania Pro, slip by too, because she's
I saw Monique Jones in the flesh in Romania. That's an athlete. Huh?
Awesome.
Yeah. So there's going to be some. It's going to be. I really want to see some drama when we step on stage and everything else. And, everybody just picking out. But yeah, just like you said, you have to bring that femininity. You have to bring that charisma and everything else, because that's what's going to allure more people to want to come to the shows.
Margie, thank you so much for coming on. We wanted to just get
Thank
in for
you
a quick.
so much, guys. You guys rock.
Giles, can we get some shots before we go?
Giles,
oh my God. Talking. Stop.
She ain't messing.
Chris.
Wow. She ain't messing.
No. Do you see how
I'll
close?
drop my drop.
Whoa, look at the quads.
Whoa,
Oh, wow.
Giles, take a look at the.
Whoa. Those hamstrings. Sorry.
Oh, look at the legs, Giles. Oh my.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
We're feeling it.
Yeah, we're feeling it, yeah. Yeah, that's a winning package.
guys.
That's a winning package. Yeah. Margie, thank you so much. And I'm so glad. Getting the guns out. Sun's out, guns out.
Yeah.
Margie, thank you so much. And
good luck this weekend.
Yep, we'll be rooting for
Thank
you in
you so
Omaha.
much, guys.
It's gonna be awesome. Thank you so much.
And also, this episode is with you, Phil Heath, and Ronnie Coleman is in this episode.
You know, everybody keeps calling me the female Ronnie Coleman.
So there you go.
Yes.
It's a sign.
And I was gonna go up to him and say, "They say I'm the female you," and he would have been like, "No, not yet."
A few more weeks.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Margie. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah. Oh.
She's gonna win the Phoenix Rising Sun easy, bro.
Awesome. She just whipped off the baggies. I was like, wow. AJ, we need to wrap this up because we have another guest on imminently. So
I'm still feeling that.
I'm still feeling it,
I'm
man.
pumped.
I'm pumped too. Phil Heath, Margie. Wow.
And now we got the. Let's see if he responds.
If this world were mine.
Which song is that?
This will all become clear.
Which song was that?
And we
are out.
And welcome back to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pump Meter Studios, joined by my co-host, AJ, all the way from Norway. And we're joined
with the legend,
Vince the Prince Taylor.
In the house, guys. Thank you so much.
Vince.
Fantastic to have you on.
One of my heroes.
Man, you guys make me feel, I'm feeling the love. This is great.
The love.
Thank you.
Firstly, Vince, I want to show you something. Do you see this?
There it is.
This is. I took this photograph in 1995 at the British. I actually printed it myself at college, and you'll remember this epic clash.
Oh yeah.
Oh, fan! I got that. Where is that picture?
You got it too at home.
I cut it out too.
I took that at the 1995 British Grand Prix. I printed it in college, and I'll put it on the table there. And very, very good memory because that was the year that I think Kevin Navroni be coming off a lot of second places at the British Grand Prix.
Right.
And then Vince showed up at the British Grand Prix and beat Kevin Navroni.
Boom, boom.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, also, Vince, do you remember me from the British Grand Prix in 1995? No. Do you remember?
I'm going back because I'm old now. It takes a while to reset and bring things back into focus. But I'm trying to get it, man. We're going to keep rolling. It'll come through. It'll come back.
Am I okay to tell my Vince Taylor?
Yes.
Sorry. Right. This was the day after the British Grand Prix, and myself and my training partner, I was there in my baggies and my padded lumberjack shirt, like I'd just come from the gym training legs. And we actually spent the morning with yourself at the hotel, at the Forte Crest Hotel in Nottingham.
Down in the lobby at the.
Do you remember me? Because I
got you now.
I was probably a bit fatter. I was full of D-ball. And,
it's a children's show now.
Yeah. And I remember because we had some breakfast, and we had some breakfast, and then I remember I'll say it was Paul Dillette, Aaron Baker, and I think it was Chris Cormier. No, Chris Cormier wasn't there. No, this was 1995, and JD Duwadu. And I think Paul Dillette actually says, "Hey guys," he says, "Don't give those guys a free seminar." He says, "Come and hang with us." And your back was facing them, and you were looking at us, and you smiled, and you just put your hand up, and you said, "Paul, I'm happy chilling with these guys." And I was a 19-year-old bodybuilding fan, and it meant the world to me. And then I remember just before you left, I'll wrap this story up quickly. Don't worry, I've got to say it. And right at the end, you said, Giles, Alex, he said, "Just stay there, man." He says, "I'm just going to go up to my room and grab something." And we were like, "Oh, what's this? What's this?" So he goes up to his room, and You gave us, you gave us a signed picture, and it was the one with your son standing between your legs.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I'll never forget, because I've still got the picture, and you said, to Giles, thanks for the time.
Oh.
Now, can you imagine a 19-year-old bodybuilding fan?
Oh, that's...
And Vince Taylor, you know, seriously, though, that kind of stuff, that kind of helped fuel my love for bodybuilding and the industry. And, you know, you taking that time to spend time, you know, hang and talk. And, you know, it meant the world to a 19-year-old bodybuilding fan like that. You know, that look, here I am 24 years later and I'm, you know, I'm talking to you now. And
we still got it going on.
We still got it going on. So sorry, I went off on a tangent there, but I just wanted to share that story because it meant the world to me. And I thank you so much for that.
I appreciate that, man. When I think back about all the times, and the most beautiful part about this sport is when we have a chance to get together with the fans and friends that you meet all around the world. And man, it's just that coherency of sharing conversation, just meeting new faces. I mean, that's the beauty of this whole sport, man. It brings people together like crazy. And now we got that bond forever, kiddo.
24 years later. And I remember because we even spoke about diet, and I was like, so what do you eat? And you went, well, the thing is, he says in the off season, he said the only...
That's the diet, yeah.
No, because he mentioned, he says, because I went, oh, you can't drink Diet Coke, Vince. and he went, why? He said, I have to eat it. I can't diet without Diet Coke. He said, I have to drink it with every single meal. And then
only the real thing, not that diet.
Not the diet. He drank the proper cola.
Oh,
the real.
Yeah, the real thing. Don't you see the real? There's sugar in it. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
And then
Coca-Cola, red meat, and ketchup.
Yeah, that's the diet.
Sounds like your diet.
I know.
So, and you said about, they said, look, the one thing you just want to stay from is deep fried foods. That's the only thing you want to stay away from. And he said, but everything, if it's on the table, eat it.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It was, you know what? When I felt, it's like personal. Because when you start going in and doing the diet, you're trying to become a certain element in bodybuilding. You follow the ABCs. Them ABCs are not your ABCs. You know, you just fall into that line. You can't eat this. You can't eat that. When people started talking to me about Coca-Cola, I mean, again, people look at me 63 years old now. I've been drinking Coca-Cola since I was 15 years old. Okay. And probably before that, it was just going to high school every morning, making that walk almost a mile plus, stop at that corner store, get that Coca-Cola, embedded. Coca-Cola stays by my bedside every morning. I drink it during my competitions. I carry it everywhere. Coca-Cola, red meat, and ketchup, baby. I'm telling you. That's how you get big.
Before we talk about what's going on in your life today, can you educate the younger people at home? Who is Vince Taylor? Can you talk about your career a little bit for us?
I know who he is.
We know who you are.
Good question. You know, just a forgotten name in bodybuilding.
No, you're not.
You know?
No.
I always feel that way, man. I tell you. Just for people who don't know who I was even all about, you know, just a young guy at the age of 27. I had moved from the United States, living in Maryland at the time, moved over here to Berlin, Germany, because my brother was stationed in the Army. So I went for a vacation. When I got to Germany, I fell in love with the place, and it was like, okay, I got to stay here. So I went back home. I visited my brother for 3 weeks. I went back home, sold my flat, and went right back to Germany and decided I would live in Germany. You know, I was only 20 years old at the time, 19 actually.
What was so great about Germany? Okay, keep on.
It was, I can tell you, it was like culturally, right? I just had graduated 1976. I'm taking you guys way back. This is like 70s. I graduated in 74 in high school. By 76, my brother was stationed for the second time in Germany. So I went for a vacation. And being from Maryland and then going to Europe for the first time, flying Pan Am, and hitting Germany and hearing about all the things about Germany my brother was telling me about, literally had me afraid to go there, talking about the Communist Wall, the Berlin Wall, the Russians and everything else. So I'm like, okay, this is going to be exciting, you know. So I got there, wasn't expecting anything because it sounded so drum. And man, when he picked me up from the airport, flying in over Germany, gloomy day, I'll never forget it. It seemed to stay that way. It was in the fall. And when I got there, I had to hang out at this little, you know, the billets where we was at the Army for a couple of weeks. So for the first couple of days, I couldn't go anywhere. So when he finally took me downtown, and I finally had a chance to see what Germany's all about, or Berlin, Man, he took me down to the Kaufmannsdam in Berlin. It looked like I was expecting from his stories, this is going to be the 1920s. Okay, everybody cloak and dagger, everybody scared to move. Man, when I got up from the underground, came up to the top, look, I was in Times Square in New York. I mean, there was neons, there was Benzes, there was Mercedes, there was Rolls Royces, there was cafes on the line, the beautiful women. I was like, I'm staying in Germany.
Probably a lot
that,
of
that got me right there. That took it. That took it. All those beautiful women, man, and just the whole culture shock thing, and living by the Army base. At 1 minute, I'm totally surrounded with English and Americans, and across the street, it's a whole new different world because it's all German. So that was exciting. So I had to go back. I just cashed in everything and went right back to Berlin to stay over there. And that's where I got into just doing things normally. I'm not a soldier, never was. So I was working for the Army, had a chance to play a little pickup basketball at the time. And then one day I was in the gym watching some guys go upstairs for some reason. I was like, what are they doing up there? They were lifting weights. So I poked my head in the door, and these guys were throwing up some iron, and this kind of re-triggered something I always wanted to do, was be Hercules. That was just a firing start for me to get into actually found bodybuilding that way. But I lived bodybuilding and the love of bodybuilding at the age of 11, 12, and 13. I saw the magazines, Reg Parks and these guys, Steve Reeves, the Hercules movies. Guys, I'm watching Hercules and the Three Stooges. That's what got me. I saw the Molar and Curly, man. They had the guy on there rowing the boat, and they were looking at him, talking about, look at this guy's arms, he's Hercules. And I'm like, I want to be Hercules. So from 11 years old, it took me like 4 years to be totally invested with muscle. Yeah. And that's kind of my drift where I found bodybuilding. Then, of course, I lost it during high school because I was involved in regular sports, nothing to do with bodybuilding. And then I got out and then got in under life took its course because I did not go to college. I was trying to go down. Wasn't for me. Came back, had a job. My brother wrote me that information about coming to visit him. I was on that plane and everything changed. And then when I got to Germany, my life just took off totally different. And then when I did find bodybuilding in Germany, with the old dreams of wanting to be Mr. America, and all that kind of stuff. The friend of mine was training with me, teaching me everything. And it was like my body started responding. And it was like, hey, so as a guy who just found a sport to play with, and then I found I was pretty good at it. And then it just continued on that way. But we talk about that later. Vince Taylor was just the average Joe who was moving around, got a chance to go to Berlin, found my brother, got internationally known because I was found Berlin and those lovely ladies. It was crazy. So
probably a lot of ladies you found down in Germany, huh? Tons of them.
Let's talk about the year. Let's talk about the year when you won the nationals and turned pro.
Oh God, guys, that was so crazy because 1988, 89 is the years I got in it. But if I back up just to 86,
okay,
because I started training actually in 84.
Okay.
So it was a very short run what I did. Wow. I wasn't set out to be a bodybuilder. Like I said, when I found bodybuilding, I thought it was cool. I'm 27 years old.
Yeah.
I'm playing basketball. I go up and start looking at some weights, and I started training weights. So at that point, it was like, if I can just do this a little bit. And then I met my good friend, man, John Brown.
He
That's
also responsible for the guy who won the nationals the year before, Sean Ray.
Sean Ray, exactly right. And that story comes together.
And John Brown was a huge star back in them days, wasn't he?
Oh, my God.
He started FIBO.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, it was FIBO, yeah.
Absolutely. And when I saw John, I had just started bodybuilding for myself. And here's a quick story. I had an argument with one of my girls in Germany.
One of my girls. Yeah.
One of my girlfriends. And I was pissed off. I was riding around the street, and I passed the auditorium where it says bodybuilding concert tonight, Berlin International Contest, blah, blah, blah. So I said, I'm going to go stop and check it out. So I busted up on in there, and lo and behold, there was John Brown, which I didn't know at the time. Big brother, 6'2", 240, Michael Jackson hairdo looking. I'm like, and the ladies was going goo goo gaga. And I'm thinking, okay, we hit the auditorium, you know, the lobby layout. Yeah. I'm watching him over there, and we eyed up, and he's like, hey, brother, come here, man. So we started talking, and the first thing he said to me was, man, man, this is crazy over here, man. You speak German? I said, yeah, actually, I do, quite fluently, So ladies was coming up, and we was just going back and forth, translating and stuff like that. And then John said, well, listen, I got to go pose. Do you mind watching my table for me? Now, mind you, I'm standing over his shoulder while people signing these autographs. He's got this big plastic bag full of, at the time, Deutschmarks. He's just dropping them in his bag. I'm going like, got to work all month to get that kind of money, okay? So he was just dropping them in and, getting the kisses and hugs, and the ladies is Googling. I'm thinking to myself, all that for muscles? I got to get me some muscles, okay? I got to get the muscle. So John went to go pose. I was in the lobby, and then when I stuck my head in the door, he had just came on stage. And he kept telling me, he said, Taylor, you can't wait till you see what I'm going to do. I'm going to kill him in here. You watch this. I don't know that much about bodybuilding, guys. I was just getting started, right? That was the clue. When John came in there, and he started moonwalking and breakdancing, that crowd, absolutely phenomenally crazy. I was like, I got to do that. That's what I got to do. So we said, after he finished, we went down in the locker room. He was telling me, he said, man, you ought to do some bodybuilding. Little did he know I was already trying to do a little bit on my own. I said, man, I'd love to. He said, let me take a look at you, man. What you got? At the time, I had like 18-inch calves, like maybe 17-inch arms, And I'm not doing anything. I'm weighing about 160 pounds. Oh, okay. But I just had this from high school and just coming into this, right? Guys, he said, man, you got all the tools, man. I can help you. If you listen to me, I can help you. I said, okay. That's what he told me. This is what I want you to do. You got to eat beef.
It's like you.
B's. That's what he said. You got to remember the 3 B's. Eat big, sleep big, train big. I'm like, okay. And he said, you got to eat beef because you are what you eat. You eat beef, you're going to be a bull. You eat chicken, you're going to look like a chicken.
No.
If you eat fish, you're going to be fucking like I was like,
you're going to grow gills.
Hello, gills.
Hello, gills.
Yeah.
He had me locked in. I got on to a rare, right? I went from 160-something pounds to about 175 pounds within a month and a half. I was eating all kind of beef. I mean, I had beef with beans, beef with everything I could think of, right? Wow. Of course, with my Coca-Cola. But I started putting on size. I looked pretty good. Yeah. Then I decided, and I'm doing some training, I got into a contest, my first contest. It was a funny story because the guy who helped me, we was driving that Saturday morning there together. So I'm in the front car, and he's already there. So I go to pull into the parking lot to just turn in there, and I ram side of a car. So I'm looking at the people in the lobby, in the parking lot, getting ready to go into the back entry. I'm in the car talking to the police, getting my ticket written up, and they moving in. So I get back into the car, pull out into the street again at a red light, and then, of course, the car in front of me moves off, and I figure he's gone. I look over my shoulder, look back, and stop, take off, and he didn't move. And I hit this guy. I got 2 accidents in 5 minutes. So it's like, oh, my God. Now I park the car, run across the street. I finally check in. All right, I'm looking for my friend because I know nothing. He's going to guide me around like Stevie Wonder. So I'm just walking around, guys, and I'm sitting there in the front row, and we weighed in, and I'm watching these class come on stage, right? And I just did my diet, right? I did 3 months of rice and what else? Like corn and rice and a little chicken.
Wow.
3 months and tuna fish. That was my diet. I didn't know anything. So I did the light heavyweight class. I'm standing here. I'm sitting in the front little row with my buddy watching the show go on. And the class comes out. I'm thinking, man, they look like my size, Wow, okay. For some reason, it says go and get on, go check it out. I'm right at the stage. So I go to the corner. I open the door, and the guy's screaming my name. Vince Taylor, where you at? Vince Taylor. I said, right here, right here. He said, oh, man, your class is on stage. You can go home. I'm like, what? I got 2 car accidents. I'm sitting out here in the front row watching, waiting to go on. Now I missed my class because I'm sitting here watching them instead of being on stage. So he looked at me and said, I'm sorry. So the other guy comes over and says, well, you can compete with the heavyweights. I said, oh, shit. That's my buddy's class. I was like, okay, no problem. So we go out, first competition, we go out. I'm looking at these monsters. And long story short, I win the heavyweight class.
Wow. How much did you weigh? How much did you weigh then?
Oh, man, I must have been weighing about 180, maybe 175, 80 pounds.
And winning the heavyweight class.
It was just looking, I didn't know how it was happening, but it was just shape was nice. Muscle bellies was nice, I guess. They gave me that victory. My buddy was mad, but that was okay. But I won that show. So my goal was Mr. Olympia, Mr. America.
Yeah.
This was in '84. So the America was in '85, '86. So after winning that show in Germany, I got a few exhibitions. I was feeling really good about myself. I'm training for maybe 2 years now, almost 2 years. And what happened is I went to a fortune teller. And this fortune teller told me.
What did she tell you?
She told me, listen, she says, guys, this is so crazy. She says, you're going to be internationally known. You're not going to be the number one guy, but you're going to be just as close as. You're not going to be rich, but you're going to be well off. And I guarantee you will be an international star. Oh. I'm thinking, me? Nice. That was cool. Yeah. And then she said, you're going to have three. You're going to have three opportunities coming up. Big three. One of them is going to be bad. I'm like, okay. So I left that. I was feeling all good. That was about a month before. I got back home in Germany, and I got a call. So I had 3 guest appearances. I never had a guest appearance, guy. I just won Mr. Berlin. I'm happy. People are starting to see me and recognize me. I got 3 guest appearances in Germany, and I'm happy. So I go to the first one. It was so-so. I go to the second one. It was great. I was feeling pretty good. Get to that third one. I'm backstage. John Brown was going to show up. So that was really cool. I was like, wow. But now, mind you, my friend was telling me at the time, you don't understand how good you look. I'm like, what you talking about? John, you're not that far for John.
Oh, wow.
I said, wait a minute, John. Yeah, John is my teacher. John is my idol. John
was peaking then.
I'm telling you, right? And I'm thinking, okay, if that's what you think. He said, no, listen to me. Trust me. I said, no, I ain't trying to hear that. So, man, we get to the stage. I'm down at this new exhibition. I'm backstage. John is there. He's talking to the crowd. Everybody's hyped, and he's trying to he's working himself into guest posing as well that night. Well, this is my dream, guys. I'm going to be on stage with my idol. I can guest pose with my idol. How good can it be? I went back. I'm sitting in my chair. I'm lifting 5, maybe 6 kilo dumbbell, and the guy says, Vince, you got 3 minutes. I'm like, no problem. Ready. Got you. I bang, bang, bang. Boom. Tore my bicep. I'm standing here.
Was it like a 10-pound dumbbell or something? I remember reading in a magazine. It was a very light dumbbell. It went
very light. Very light. Guys, I'll never forget it. Yeah. John had just walked by me. I'm doing some curl. I'm feeling good. And it sounded like a towel being ripped. You hear it like, I'm like, ooh, what was that? Yeah. The whole form got black and blue. So John came over and he said, Vince, what happened? I said, I don't know, man. I said, I heard this. He said, yeah, what is that? And I showed it to him. The first thing he did was shook his head. He said, oh, man, God, you tore it, man. You tore it. I'm like, what do you mean? So I stuck my arm out, and the bad boy was just wobbling, right? So I could flex it. It would bounce. And I'm like, oh, man. So I said, well, how long do you think that's going to take? He looked at me. He's like, Taylor, you tore it, man. And the guy comes in, Vince, are you ready? No. Yeah. I went on stage, went out there and posed anyway. I didn't care. So it was, but I had a friend of mine who was a surgeon, and he was there with me. And when he tore it, he came backstage and he looked at me and he was like, Vince, you're done. I said, what do you mean? He said, you tore oh my God, you tore it.
Was it muscle or tendon?
Tendon.
Oh,
it
tendon.
ripped right from the form.
Oh, just with lightweight like that?
Lightweight. It tore right from the forearm.
Oh my God.
Says, we have to reattach that, Vince. And now, mind you, I just won that show. I'm feeling really good. I got a head of steam going for me, and he's telling me my career's over. Go swim. Because you can't bodybuild anymore because that's not going to hold up when you try to be curling or pushing weights.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, it just killed me. But that's the drama portion of it. I got it attached again. I'm good.
Because it never looked short. Sorry, Vince. It never looked any shorter because I remember when I heard that you'd. It's like when Kevin Avone ripped his pec in 1982. He had it reset into the armpit because normally you can see that the muscle's shorter. There's an indentation on the pec, but your bicep, it never. You cannot. It looks exactly the same as the other one, doesn't it? It was a really good, very good surgery.
That surgeon told me exactly that because we were worried about the look, the cosmetic portion of it. He said, we want to attach it so that's going to keep its original shape. You don't want to have your bicep up here like you see most of these guys. Yeah. So that's the one thing he made sure of. And he's also really deep into bodybuilding and stuff. So when he repaired it and got me squared away, literally, they had to drill a hole through the forearm, pull the tendon through, wire it at the back end of it, sticking out here and down through the bicep. Cupped it like that for like 8-9 weeks, and that was it, So, but I got past that. That was a good part. Pushed that beside me. Went on to win the Mr. America, which I was training for a couple months after that. Now we're moving toward the nationals. While I was in America, because all I wanted to be was Mr. America. You know, I didn't know nothing about bodybuilding. That's the whole key. I know nothing about bodybuilding. I'm in Germany. I'm picking up magazines with my buddy at work, and we're flipping through the magazines. There's Gaspari, there's Haney. I mean, I'm the fan of fans. Okay, we love this. That's all we did. Our theme song was Pumping Iron. You know, sing it every day before we go training. So you take that atmosphere, and then you find yourself making small gains. You know, I wanted to be Mr. America. So what happens? I take a flight. I hit America in New Jersey. They got the Mr. America contest. Shoot, I won the Mr. America light heavyweight class. I was like, boom. And people started asking about the MPC.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know anything about what is MPC? Well, that's where Sean Ray and these other guys are competing at. I said, Sean Ray, I heard of his name from John Brown. But as far as the MPC, I mean, how do I involve myself in it? How do I get into it? So I joined it while I was there, and they said, well, listen, you can compete in this show in New Jersey and qualify for the nationals and stuff like that. What's the nationals? You know, I don't know none of this kind of stuff. So I did, and I wound up competing against Phil Hill.
Phil Hill, yeah.
I walked in on him, but I had visited the Mr. Universe in London that year with Brian Buchanan and Eugene Leviscount and Biggie, all my boys, man. You know, like
I've seen Eugene. I still see Eugene about.
Is that right?
Yeah. He promotes a different federation in the UK. Still promotes shows. Still involved.
Gotcha. Yeah, these guys, man. I remember being there, and I had ran into Phil Hill there as well, because I was trying to get Berth to do the Universe. Yeah. And I had to go through Lance Drea with an American team to see if I could qualify, because I'm living in Germany. They're telling me I couldn't qualify. So I had to try to write Lance Drea to AAU and to see if I can compete. He said, maybe. So I'm sitting in London at the Universe with my bag and my shorts, hoping I get an okay to go compete, which they never gave it to me, but I was pissed off anyway. So after that, I just went back home, and then the Nationals was coming up. So I won my heavyweight class in AAU. So I went to New Jersey to compete in the NPC, and I won a class there. And they said, you can do the Nationals. Of course, I did not know what it was. But when I went to my first Nationals, I got fourth. Sean Ray won it, and some other guys were in it. And I had just tore my bicep. I was just training for about 8 months. Not 6 months, actually. And I'm there at that show, and, man, I'm like, kicking butt, and people were looking at me going like, this guy is going to be the winner. And I wound up getting fourth, right? But that was okay. And I said, well, guys, if you like me now, wait till next year, because I pulled my bicep. Let me go and train. Then I came back the following year and won the overall national championships. So that was great.
So
it wasn't planned. It just happened.
Now, obviously, one of the first Olympias you ever did was in Rimini.
Yes.
In Italy, 1989, which Lee Haney won. On our last episode, we actually had Lee Labrada on. Labrada. So that was a very good result for him at that show. And you took third place at that Olympia, didn't you?
Yeah.
Your first ever Olympia.
Yeah. A year after turning pro, he went and got third at the Olympia, 1989.
How old were you then?
Oh man, 30. What, mid-30s?
So you only trained for 7 years, and then you placed third place.
Think about that. Started in 84. By 86, I did the America. Tore my bicep. Doc said, you're done. 87, I did my first nationals. Got fourth. I'm like, whoa, okay. Then 88, I come back and I win the overall national championships. Then 89, I win my first pro show, which was 6 months later, Night of the Champions. And I'm like, wow. And then the next thing was, you can go to the Olympia. I'm like, for what? Why?
I used to have all those Flex magazines from mid-80s right up to 88, 89, 19, and onwards, literally for years. Now, for me, like I started following the sport, it was in May 1990. I was 14 years old.
Wow.
And I remember the second year for 1991 Olympia, I remember traveling to get the the video. Now for me, DVD wasn't even invented then.
Look at AJ.
Wasn't even invented then. So 1991 for me is the one. I think that's the most memorable Vince Taylor appearance I'll ever. That's the one. That's my favorite because for many reasons. I mean, you had a fantastic place and you took third place behind Lee Haney in first, Dorian Yates in second. But it was that posing routine. and I'll elaborate. I'll elaborate more on that because I want to take that somewhere. But tell us, where did you get the inspiration to like? I mean, because at that show, I think that yours and Lee Labrada's routines are two of the greatest posing routines of all time.
I agree.
So different, so revolutionary, and and for completely different reasons. Tell us about that.
Okay, that routine originated right in my living room.
Watching Arnold.
In about 20 minutes of thought, but it had a history. Okay. I love the way I was posing because I tried to mimic John Brown, and I thought it was just perfect what he did. The style, the art, the communication skills he was using, learning how to pose, not just up there throwing around and looking for applause and doing all this crazy stuff, you know. It was like, give you a reason to clap by doing something, and then that's fine. Give me a reason to connect with you, and I remember John was telling me about that earlier. When I want to connect with my audience, that's what posing is about, communication. I give you that look, you know. I give you that contact, and then I give you that one time, just to let you know I'm with you. Can I hear you? Okay, that's cool. You know, and then we create something. Well,
bit of Luther Vandross.
Oh, wasn't that great? Oh my God!
If this world were mine,
Johnson knows all my stuff, man.
I will place at your feet all that I own.
You've been so good to me.
The floor poses.
This world was mine.
The floor poses. Yeah.
This is how that song came apart. That song just traumatized me the first time I seen somebody use it, read it, and feel it. When John asked me after I saw him posing in Berlin, about a year later, he asked me to come to California to train for a little while. I said, okay, I'm gonna come and learn how to do bodybuilding. So when I got there, one of the things we did, John was going through some posing courses with me, telling me how to pose, you know, showing me the different things, what I should and should not be looking for. Then he set off because he was getting ready to compete in the Night of the Champions. And I remember him having some issues with Tony Pearson as far as who was in and who wasn't getting in. One slot was open. But anyway, John was posing. He said, Taylor, watch this. I make the ladies cry with this. I'm sitting there. I'm Google-eyed, you know, like, what he's going to do? So he puts Luther Vandross on. Cheryl Lynn. He started doing the moves. Bam. I'm thinking, look, and the way he was moving, that just went right in me, okay? That's why I said that's the way I got to pose. Now, we'll speed that up because that was a dramatic posing.
Yeah.
It's very communicational how you're moving, and the music moves you.
Used to pose.
That was the key.
Something you and Kevin Levrone both did that you never, ever see anymore is you posed with your hands in your face.
Yes.
You made it part of the performance. It was like you were a performer on stage, like an actor, like the way you'd be like feeling the music, and you don't see that anymore. You see guys moving their bodies, but you don't see them really getting into the music. And it was like a full body kind of, it was a completely different experience to someone just flexing their muscle.
And I got that from John. John told me from day one. He said, Taylor, you got to understand, you have to send signals. You have to direct people. Yeah. So when you're doing a move and you just throw something together, that's nothing. You throw it together, but you follow it through, for example, just by the hands. He kept telling me, throw the hands into it, make a move, you create attraction, and they're going to follow that. Okay, so he says that's what I want you to do while you're doing this, and you showing the emphasis while you're expressing your movements, but at the same time you're setting up the other pose. You're not leaving an open space. So while they're watching something here, you might be getting ready to set up a onside bicep shot or something. Most people don't do that. They go from whatever pose they are straight to the next one, and they're moving around. There's nothing coordinated or quality about that gap between A and B. Transition is important. This is a transition setter, and when people see you doing that, they follow. So that's the key to the moving that hand and getting you in point.
1 second. New pros.
You got it.
New pros. Listen to this. Watch this back because I'm telling you, you can learn a lot from guys like Vince Taylor, Lee Labrada, Sean Ray, John Brown. These are the pioneers. We need to bring this style of posing back.
I agree.
Do some of the pros contact you for ask you for posing advice?
That picture was awesome, man. I can see myself right now on stage doing that because when that song came on,
KLF.
Vengeance approved.
Yeah,
now here's the answer to your question, guys. What had happened was we were watching the Arnold Classic, my wife and I. And I give my wife all the credit in the world, guys. She was my nutritionist. She was my trainer. Wow. She was my consigliere. She was my boss. She's everything. She did it all for me, okay? It was me, myself, and I, and her. I didn't have a trainer. I never had a training partner. It was just me and her. Yeah. So we were sitting down, and she was saying, you know what? Don't like the way you guys pose. You know, so okay, because women are very exciting. You go to a bodybuilding competition, it's so boring to see you guys running from 1-2 steps, muscle shot, 1-2 left, muscle shot. You know, you do the same crap over and over. That is so boring, guy after guy after guy. Be more entertaining. So I'm like, okay, that sounds pretty interesting. And then something, lo and behold, had happened 10 days before this conversation. I was out doing the exhibition. I came back home here to Florida, and I was told by my good friends, he says, man, your buddy Sean Ray was in town at the local gym where you trained at, too. I was over there talking to Sean, and, and I asked the brother, what do you think about Vince? And he looked at me and told me, once beaten, always beaten. He's no competition.
Sean Ray always talking.
Yeah, right?
So shy with his words, isn't he, Sean?
Always talking.
That's it. I'm thinking,
Love it.
well, you got a point there. My boys was pissed off. They were like, man, he come down here dissing you like that. I'm like, well, truth, I haven't beaten the guy. I don't really go after anybody, but I haven't beaten the guy. A couple of days later, Lee Labrada's in town. At that particular gym too. Okay. The question came up again. What do you think about Vince Taylor?
Says the same thing.
He goes, he's not any competition for me. So okay, I don't know Lee Labrada either. You know what I mean? But now you in home talking trash. Okay. Now we're getting ready for this competition coming up. So we're sitting around the home, my wife and I, and it was like, and that conversation about posing came up. So I wanted to change my posing, and when we saw, I'm thinking, what could I possibly do? So I'm looking at TV, one of the dance shows at the time, and this guy comes out. His name was DJ RoboCop. Okay, the brother comes out with some sunglasses on top of his head.
Is that his real name?
Right?
No.
DJ Robo. I'm thinking, okay. So he comes out, guys, and he's walking. He steps on the stage, and he's making sound effects with his mouth, right? And he's like. And he's going like, put the glasses on. Then he started going, I'm like, that's cool. So something just stuck with me with that. Then a couple minutes, I was switching channels. The Predator was on with Schwarzenegger. And I'm watching the Predator, and then we was watching the Terminator. Both of those things came on. And all of a sudden I saw Arnold go inside of the club, and he's searching for Sarah Connor. Okay.
I see how he pieced it all together now. I see it. I see.
So I'm thinking to myself, and this is happening like we're talking right now.
Yeah.
I'm telling my wife, I'm like, he came in and he's looking for Sarah Connor. What if I came in
looking for Sean,
and I'm looking for Sean Ray, and then I want to extend it, Lee Labrada. And then Haney, like that. We're going to terminate somebody.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But how we're going to set it up, as you know, posing everybody has a certain direction. So my thing was, all right, well, let me, since I'm a Terminator, let me terminate them. But let me find the right song for each one of those guys.
Yeah.
So that's where the little bit of work came in. 2 minutes worth of work. So I was sitting there, I'm thinking, all right, Sean Ray was first, once beaten, always beaten. Okay. So I need a song for him, and I heard KLF 3 a.m. and it was banging. Yeah. I mean, when you hear that, bam, it was like, wow. You need an explosion song on stage when you were trying to get people off and rocking. That I know. That's why you use slow and fast songs. But that beat, that song 3 a.m. KLF was like picture perfectly made, and the words were vengeance approved. So Sean, I'm after you, buddy. So that was for Sean. So then we were sitting there. I said, what would you do with Lee Labrada?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm thinking to myself, I ain't no competition. Mama said knock you out. I mean, that's no. And when I heard the lyrics of L Cool J, it was like picture perfect. Yeah. So I got this portion of the song chiseled out. I got this portion of the song. I chiseled out the lyrics for Labrada, and then it was, well, you're a Terminator, but you're not stupid. Okay, you got Haney over here now. So what you gonna do with Lee Haney? You gonna take Haney out? No. That's never going to happen. So pay homage. This is your idol. You know, hey, give the brother some respect. That's Mr. Olympia. So what can you do? Then you started seeing the movie. I'm thinking of him running into Arnold in the police station and turning around. I'll be back. You know, that was a thing. I'll be back.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I'm like, okay, when I call out Haney, I'm not calling him out to beat him. I'm calling him out to say I ain't got enough. So what I'm going to do as a robot, I'm going to self-destruct. You know,
Yeah.
So I gave a little self-destruction music in there. Now, mind you, you mentioned DVD, and as we were doing, I had to make that video. I mean, make that pose routine with that little cassette.
Yeah.
We didn't have no mixing and all that at
really?
the time. Remember that? This is the little push the little drawer, put the little cassette in there, push record and talk.
Cassette.
You know. Okay, that's where that came from.
Was it made in a studio or was it just?
Nah.
Really?
I did it at home first. But then I got to talk to a friend of mine who happened to be a radio guy. Okay. So I went to his home, and he had some machines and stuff.
Yeah.
And he mixed up the voices for me, the voiceovers, used my voice. I'm just like, I told you I'll be back. You know, I mean, I had everything done myself. He pushed them together for me. Had a sound guy, a friend of his, made the sounds for me of the machine gun. Because I'm literally telling this guy, directing him what I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
I said, can you make some robotic sounds for me as if I was searching the room? You know, how about me making some mechanical steps? I need something thunderous. I need something that's going to attract your attention.
Yeah.
I'm going to load my weapons, you know. Give me something I can do. I'm like, you know, like piecework this. And it came out. It came out so good. It was like, look at this.
Classic.
But here's the thing. You're going to try this. You're going to call these guys out, and you never beat them. How you going to look?
15th place. Oh, no. Yeah. Oh, wow. What an Olympia that was, though, Vince. I mean,
God, it was great, guys.
How was your mindset against Lee Haney? Did any of you guys think you could beat Lee Haney?
Me, never.
Really?
Absolutely never.
Wow.
When I met, before I even got to be an amateur, when I ran into Lee in Luxembourg, he was guest posing. And we were talking then, you know, that was the first time I got a chance to see Lee. I drove down there, man. He came out the little club room. He was on stage. I'm standing in front of him, like, oh, my God. Like Arnold says, like God standing there, right? And I'm like, that's Lee Haney. Couldn't even breathe. You know, I couldn't even breathe when I'm talking to him. So we spoke a few minutes, and I was just fired up.
Aura.
And when I saw Lee, and then when I finally got to take the journey with me, I'm sitting in Berlin in 86 and 87. I'm looking at magazines talking about Labrada and Gaspari and all the guys, you know, this is crazy stuff. And now here it is 89, I'm on stage with them. And this was like, whoa. And when they told me I made it to the Olympia, well, the best of the best was going to be, I'm like, damn. Now, you going to beat Lee Haney at the Olympia? I'm like, no. But I'm going to a ball because I got invited. This is going to be awesome. And knowing Lee Haney, 8 times Mr. Olympia, 7 times at that time, the question for me was, I don't care how many routines I would make or how good I felt about myself. Look at what you're trying to do. You're saying you're going to dethrone Lee Haney, beat that guy. What about you is going to do that? Just because you turn pro, that don't mean you got the tools, right? So it's weird to me that any guy, Sean Ray and I used to go about around, and sometimes I hear him conversating. Sean's a good friend of mine. And when I hear Sean say, you know, I never go into a competition thinking I can't win. I'm planning on beating Lee Haney at the Mr. Olympia. And I would look down the line, and a lot of these guys would say the same thing. I'm coming to win. I'm coming to win. I'm like, how? So no, for my question, my answer is this. I never thought I could beat Lee Haney. I never tried to beat Lee Haney or anybody else. I just knew that whatever I bring to the stage, the judges was going to make their own opinion. So I was cool with all that, you know.
Vince, there's 2 contests I want to talk about. He loves it. The 1991, is he drinking his Coke? 1991 British Grand Prix.
I loved it. I loved it.
I love it. Remember the 1991 British Grand Prix? Tell us about that, because you went up against Dorian Yates, who obviously you'd placed just behind, one spot behind the 1991 Olympia in Orlando, Florida. Tell us about that show.
The journey to that show, we were doing the tours. And I remember Albert Beckles, good friend of mine, when I met Albert. He was telling me, and 2 things happened there. Wayne was telling me one thing. Well, you know, we're going to go see Dorian again. And I'm going like, Well, he won the Olympia, but I hear he's fat now. He's fat and happy now. He's home chilling while we on the tour. And but again, I don't care who's there. I'm just coming to compete. I'm trying to win that little money. So when Dorian showed up, he wasn't in shape. He was not in great shape, and that's what I saw right away. But I do know you're not going to beat the just current Mr. Olympia.
No, 1991, 91 Grand Prix.
Oh, I'm sorry, 91.
91.
Bring it back. Okay, gotcha.
Go back
pretty
in
much
here.
the same. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. When we got there, I'm thinking to myself, all right, the guy's huge. They want the guy to, he's good. No question about it.
2 and 3 from the Olympia, wasn't it? 2 and 3 from the Olympia.
Yeah.
No Haney.
And I don't think I had any off. I didn't have what I needed to beat him then. So I'm not going to do any damage in England when I get there. Okay, that was my thing. I'm just going to go have a good show.
Yeah.
But when I saw him and how he looked, I didn't think he looked all that great. I thought I could have got him. But only reason I thought I could have got him was the fact that he used the rounds that we used to judge: symmetry, muscularity, posing.
Yeah.
I could get 2 of those rounds. Okay, he's got great muscularity. He's a big man, and everybody sees muscle, muscle, muscle. Granted, I said when we come down and get into our aesthetic look and shape and balance, I think I got better shape and balance than he does. I should get the nod in that one. When it comes to the posing, I know I'm gonna kill him in that posing round. So 2-1, you can't beat me. But I knew that wasn't going to play out like that. So so when I got when the crowd went off and went crazy like they did after I finished. And to me it was like, you know what, that's as good as it's gonna get. Because I wasn't gunning for anybody, never would, never had, and it just cookie crumbled.
I'd really love to talk about this Grand Prix as well, because that that was a very special one. Because Kevin Levrone, I'll just give some facts. 1992, it was won by the British Grand Prix was won by Dorian. Kevin Levrone was second. 93, Kevin was third. 94, Kevin was second. 95, I think he kind of assumed he was going to come in and win it because there was no Dorian. You just took 5th place at the Olympia. Kevin had been second at the Olympia to Dorian Yates. So I think he was rightfully so feeling very confident that he was finally going to win the British Grand Prix. And then you showed up.
Exactly. Because see, when I saw Kevin moving like he was moving, of course, I thought he was, he's definitely slewed in to win this thing.
Yeah.
But my training had sidestepped. Because I was no longer feeling I was going to be super competitive in that age with these guys right now.
Yeah.
I was looking to move on. I'm already almost 40, going on high 30s, okay? I'm the old man out there. So these young lions was biting pretty hard. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I wasn't training to be that guy, but I was just training to maintain what I was doing. We got to, we came to, on the tour, we got there. I was looking pretty good, but I did not think that I was doing enough adjustments to tighten up like I wanted to.
Okay.
And I tightened up that night, and we came out there. I saw Kevin was kind of washed a little bit, and boy, when we hit it on stage,
showing up,
we threw down.
You got ripped glutes.
And I love.
You got ripped glutes there, mate. You're looking in pretty good shape to me.
I'm telling you, I've never had glutes before.
Yeah, that was because I remember because I was thinking Kevin, because I was a big Kevin Levrone fan, and I'd been there 92, 93, 94, and I was like, come on, Kevin, you got to win it. And then and then you kind of came along, and it was a decisive victory. It was a solid victory.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic one.
Kevin couldn't believe it, and in fact, when after that show, I snuck out the back of the auditorium and shot to the hotel.
And you know what? I don't know whether you probably won't remember this, but in 1997, the British Grand Prix, the one that Kevin did win, that's when he shaved his head and he supersized. I was there covering the show for Muscle Mag for Robert Kennedy.
Okay, yeah,
so
Bob.
I was doing the photographs and the interviews, and there was one big main room, and you had Chris Cormier, there was Charles Clermont, Jean-Pierre Fuchs, Lee Priest, Charles Clermont, and they were all getting
Terry Pastel.
Paul Dillette. No, Terry Pastel wasn't at that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love how you remember better than
I told you.
I could tell you what you weigh, how big your calves were. This is why I'm doing what I do, Vince, because I just it's a head full of useless knowledge otherwise. And there was that one main room, and I remember Chris Cormier was doing some chin-ups on some scaffolding, and everyone was just kind of milling around. And I thought, where's Kevin? Where's Vince? So I went up one of the corridors. I went to corridors, and there was a couple of dressing rooms, and there was just like, there was a really dark corridor, and there was this one little spotlight with a mirror. Anyway, I walked up, and it was you. You were there. You had your Cybergenics cap on. and your sneakers, your shoes, and you were hitting some poses. And I said, Vince, let's get. And it was too dark. I mean, the photos didn't come out very good, but you just kind of hit a couple of poses, and I was like, oh. And then that's when I saw Kevin Navrone, and there was Sean Davis in this one. But I was remembering. I was like, wow. It was just it was a really, really fantastic memory. You know.
Speaking of other memories, behind you there, that's the Master Olympia titles.
That's my girl.
I remember as a teen watching these shows. The most scandalous event I've ever seen in bodybuilding.
2002.
It's the way they screwed you. Time they didn't bring you the titles. Wayne DeMille, like, did you ever punch him, knock him out? Was there ever a moment where? Can you go back in time a little bit? What was? Can you? I'm still upset to this day. It's scandalous.
I can feel it.
Yeah, that was probably the section of my bodybuilding career which turned me against wanting to be bodybuilding anymore.
Right.
Okay. For some reason, and I do not know until today, I still don't know. There was some sort of mark on me, I would say. People probably look at me and go like, well, Vince, why would you say that? I say, well, because an incident went down and I got blackballed. I would say I didn't get no press recordings no more. Didn't get no contract from Weider. All kind of things were happening. Only because it started back when, what exactly date was that? We were getting ready for the Mr. Olympia. Arnold Classic, I'm sorry. I got a call one morning from Joe Weider. Now, mind you, I'm not that bodybuilder who's voiceful. I go do what I have to do. You know, I'm not in California. I'm in Miami. So I'm just like, keep that West Coast. You can do what you want to do. I'm down here. So we were asked to, back up. I flew out to do a photo shoot with Roberto Fox and Mohammed Benaziza.
Wow.
And my wife. Okay. And we were at Joe's place and we did a photo shoot and we left. Okay. It was fine. And I never talked to Joe a lot. I mean, I don't know Joe. We never knew Joe that well. It was when I say, hey, Joe, how you doing? He would call me JJ Marsh. Hi, JJ, how you doing? He always call me somebody else. So it's okay. That's fine.
Oh, no.
Totally different physiques.
So
you just saw a black guy and said, hey. Like you with the...
I'm not...
Oh, yeah, shut up.
Okay, yes.
Uh-oh. Got a story here.
Okay.
So we were having a great time, and we left and came back and everything. And it was just before the Arnold Classic. And Wayne DeMille called me and says to me, the contracts are going to be issued. Joe waits until after the Arnold Classic to give you a contract. I'm like, okay, cool. So you got to sign your contract, bro. I said, well, I'm going to wait until next year, after the show before I sign it, because I want more money. There's a big stories behind that anyway. But the core of it was I'm going to not sign this contract. So this is going before the Arnolds that Kevin won, and I got second.
96.
So what happened? Even at that point,
94.
At that point, it was all right. So we had to schedule a photo session, which we do photo sessions behind the screen every show at the event. All right. But some reason they wanted me to fly out to California 10 days before the event and then come out. I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to mess my preparations up. I'm planning on winning this show. Yeah. I've already won it. I'm planning on winning it again. Kevin's going to be in out here. He got a torn pec. So Flex Wheeler's not competing. So this is mine. So I'm like, okay. So when Wayne called me up about that contract, I said I wasn't signing it. And he was going like, well, you know something? If you don't sign that contract and the competition's close, the judges could go with the guy on contract. Right?
He said that he said it.
Yeah.
He told me that. And I'm thinking, oh, Wayne, I get it, but I'm not flying to California. I'll do the photo shoot after the show. Thing to worry about it. Well, Vince, Joe likes his photos. Well, whatever. Left with that. So we get to the show, and it was crazy because I felt, honestly, 100%, I won that show. There was no question in my mind I did not win that show. And toward the end of the show, when I was backstage, always hiding in the corner, it seems like, in the Arnold Classic in Columbia, there's behind the stage a curtain. There's a small little opening that you can just stand back in. And I was standing back in the pump-up room behind that curtain. And Leverone was laying on the floor. And we had just did the prejudge and night show. And everybody was saying how tight it was close. But Vince looked like he's got it. Yeah. This looks crazy. And the thing about it was they were telling me, Vince, to nail this, all you need to do is pose. I'm like, wait, guys, I'm bringing out the Terminator routine to Arnold, who's dying to see it and loving it. And shoot, wait till I pose. I said, I'm going to knock the lights out. So that's what this is going to be out tonight. It's over.
Yeah.
Man, I went out there and rocked that damn house. I came back, stood in the corner behind that curtain, and Kevin was just laying in front of me. He couldn't really see me. But he was just laying on the floor, people walking around him. And then, of course, he finished posing. He was tired. He laid down. And then all of a sudden, I seen Wayne D'Amelia, another promoter guy, come over to Kevin on the floor, put his hand on Kevin's chest, and Kevin looked at him, and he just rose up like the second coming off the ground.
Got told he just got the victory, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at this going like, whoa, that was exactly my words. Hey, I said, they just told me we got this thing. And I'm thinking, but, I'm going to wait and see. So we stood up, and then all of a sudden I heard, where's Vince Taylor? I step out behind the curtain, round from Kevin. They looking at me all crazy. I step around, and it says, Arnold wants Vince to have that trophy. I said, that was the most muscular trophy. That's the first one he gave out.
Yeah,
okay?
94.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, that's crazy. That's going to be nice,
Yeah.
So I get the trophy, but that was a consolation prize.
Correct.
Because
that's how
when he told me, and at the end of the show, we walked out there. If you ever see the end of that show, we were standing there. Who's it going to be, Vince or Kevin? I was praying at them once. Come on, man. They're not going to do this to me, because everybody was telling me at the end of that event, Vince, you won this. This is yours. Take it home. I met the judges when I was coming down the stairwell in the hotel. And one of the judges looked at me and said, Vince, it's like it's 2 in a row. I said, wow. I said, ain't over till the fat lady sings, bro. And then as I was walking up the steps, I just turned around and looked at him. I think she just sang. We just laughed. But at the end of that show, I lost that show. Kevin wins. I lose by 2 points. 1.5 points, Wayne tells me. I said, 1.5 points. If it's close and the judge is going to, you got it. So that just fills it up to the rest of this, right? Because then that's when I was getting ready to start with the Masters.
Vince.
Right? That's the key.
Vince.
All right? Talk to me.
I have a confession.
Go ahead.
We have Ronnie Coleman on in 5 minutes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. No. So, and do you know what? I made a decision. We've covered probably 20% of what we want to cover with you, because I had no idea you were going to be this good and this open. And honestly, this is our dream guest. This is a dream guest that can tell us this kind of with this kind of energy.
And especially now we go into the.
No. So what I think we're going to do, we're going to take an executive decision. On behalf of the team, I'm going to get Vince on for a part 2 the next time in maybe a couple of episodes, and do a follow-up. We've got to do a sequel. We've got to do it. Maybe do it with a 3-parter, because this is gold. This is absolute gold.
Then we should do the next Monday then.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks.
Yes.
Can you do in 2 weeks?
Can you come on again in 2 weeks?
Hey, you guys call. I'm on.
Good.
I wasn't being ignorant, but I was actually just messaging Ronnie Coleman because. I was a bit torn there. I was thinking, what do I do?
Hey, listen, do me a favor. When you talk to Ronnie, we were in Russia.
Okay.
And this is when Ronnie, what was it? When he just started exploding.
97?
Okay. Yeah. Because he was playing Kevin was playing the piano.
Oh, this is at the abattoir. The abattoir. At Russia. It was like an abattoir, wasn't it? In this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And here's the deal. Just tell Ronnie, I said, Vince said, tell Nuke. Okay, because I told him when he was standing back on the piano playing, I said, "Boy, you look like the USS Nimitz." Okay, them bombs you carrying around, I'm gonna call you Nuke. And that was our thing. The nuclear bomb, man. Just tell Ronnie I said, "What's up?" That's my boy. Because to me, when people ask me, and it's a homage to my man Ronnie Coleman, and believe me, guys, straight from if I know anything about bodybuilding, the greatest bodybuilder of all times. I don't care who's saying, but it's Ronnie Coleman. Yeah. Okay? That's the man. Yeah. You tell Ronnie I said that. I'm always got his flag.
All right,
so
Vince.
we're going to get a part 2 next week?
Oh, no, absolutely. Absolutely, Vince. Vince, I'm so sorry to cut it short because we're overrun a little bit, but this has been fantastic. Absolute gold. As a huge Vince Taylor fan, this is a real treat. So, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And we will be doing a part 2. So, Vince Taylor, huge respect.
Yeah. Peace, brothers. Appreciate you.
Thank you so much, Vince.
Thank you so much. See you next week. Yeah?
Hey, make sure you get that Coke, baby.
Fantastic.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know what to do there. I was like, ah.
So we scheduled a part 2 next episode.
Yeah.
Next.
I think we could do a part 3 to part 4 with Vince. What a talker.
No,
What
but now I want to.
Yeah, the stories. The
I
story.
want to hear the Wayne D'Amelio thing.
Okay.
Because that's where we went into the politics, you know? I want to listen more to that.
Sorry, Ronnie's messaging. I'm sorry to cut you short as well, but Ronnie Coleman's messaging. So here we go. He's online. Yep, he's messaging me.
Okay, Vince Taylor. That was part 1.
Yep.
We see the next part in the next episode.
Yep.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Ronnie Coleman's typing.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Wrap it up.
Okay, we'll need to wrap this up, and we'll be back after the break with our second Mr. Olympia of the episode.
Lightweight, baby.
Ronnie Coleman, and we're out. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle Radio here at the Pump Meter Studios, joined by my co-host AJ all the way from Norway, and we're joined
by 8-time
Mr. Olympia,
Ronnie
Coleman. How you doing, Ronnie?
No, doing good.
Yeah, long time no speak, mate. I think I've spoke to you since. I think I sent you a message at Christmas, but I think that was about it, really. I haven't spoke to you much since. Yeah, you did go. You went zooming past me at the Arnold on your scooter thing at the Hilton. Do you remember back in March? The Arnold.
Yeah. I remember.
Yeah. So.
Oh, Giles, I don't know what to say. I've been watching you since I was probably like 11 years old. Now I'm 34. So it's like this is like a dream for me, Ronnie Coleman, and I'm really happy that you chose us to work with you for your show. I'm really proud, Ronnie.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. We're gonna do some good work, Ronnie, because I mean, I worked for you back in 2014, 2016. It was a fantastic experience. And I've been talking to your business partner Brendan at RCSS, and we've come up with this idea to do this podcast. So we just want to give it a little bit of a test run, just to see how it all works, and just basically hype the show for when we start filming on the 19th of June.
Oh, okay, cool. Sounds good.
And you got to tell him what Vince Taylor just told about him.
Yes, we on this episode, Ronnie, we've had Vince Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Vince Taylor, and he says, yeah. I said, Vince, we're gonna have to cut this short because we've got Ronnie on in 10 minutes. So he says, oh, if you speak to Ronnie, hey Susan. Hello. How you doing? And he said, oh, if you speak to Ronnie, he says, about the 1997 Russian Grand Prix, and he saw you backstage and he called you Nuke.
Nuke. Yep. You're exactly right. I'm surprised you remember that. It's been so long ago.
Yeah. So, So, any questions?
How is your health right now, Ronnie? How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. No problems at all.
You back? Are you able to go to the gym at all now, or?
Yeah, I've been training for about the last 2 or 3 months now.
Mm-hmm. How's it going?
It's going great. Going real good.
Mm-hmm. Good.
So you're still, I think I saw a post on your Instagram the other day, and you said you're still on the crutches, but you're a lot more mobile now. And I saw you at FIBO, at the video of FIBO, and you look good. You look really. You look back, back in the gym, and you're feeling. I could see you getting that spark back, and.
Yeah. Everything's all good. I had no restrictions or nothing. Just working out every day, trying to get stronger and trying to get better. With my mobility. So that's all I'm doing right now.
Yeah.
I started going to therapy also. So. What
sort of therapy was that? Like physical therapy?
Physical therapy. Yeah. I go like 2-3 times a week.
Yeah.
See a therapist, and we've been working real hard on everything. So everything's going pretty good for me right now.
Good.
Just gotta take time, get back in, in shape and everything. Yeah. That's all.
So tell me about how is RCSS doing?
My what?
How is RCSS doing? Your supplement company?
Oh, RCSS. It's doing good.
This is
our eighth year now.
Yeah,
every year we've been out there, we've gotten bigger. So
yeah.
This year is no different. I guess it takes a long time to get well known out. We're in like 130 some countries now.
130 countries.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the longer we've been out, the more well known we get known, and the more well known we get known, the more distributors we have. The more distributors, of course, the more money. So
Do you remember?
now, things going great.
Good. Do you remember when you launched at the Arnold Europe in Madrid in 2011? That was when you launched. I was actually sat next to you because I was uploading some photos to you lent me one of your power sources. And I was there when you sold, because you launched with two products, the Maya Blitz and the Resurrect.
Oh, the Maya Blitz, yeah.
And Ronnie, I was there. Do you remember? Funny story, because I was there with Kevin Horton, and we're both photographers. And Brendan turns around and he says, Giles, get your camera. He says, Kevin, get your camera. He says, we've just sold our very first tub of Maya Blitz, our first ever product sale. And neither myself or Kevin Horton, two photographers, had our cameras on us.
Oh.
So yeah, and it was I remember because there were so many people surging towards the stand. The actual wall was actually starting to bow over me and Ronnie. It was like starting to tip. Hey,
hi,
hello. Which one's this?
This is Sophia.
Oh, hello,
hi,
Sophia. She's got hair like you, AJ.
We got the same. We got the same hair, huh?
You just got it yesterday.
Oh, looks very good.
Yeah.
How many hours did that take you? How many hours did that take you, Sophia?
I don't know.
You don't know.
Took a few.
Just a few. Looks very good. Looks very good. Yeah. How old are you?
She's pulling faces.
Okay. How old are you, Sophia? 5.
5.
How many children do you have, Ronnie Coleman?
Oh, we got about 6, 8.
6 or 8? 8. Wow.
I got 2 daughters.
Mm-hmm.
33 and 34.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
She got 2 sons, I think 13 and 16, and we got 4 here.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're all here right now.
Yeah.
Busy man.
Yeah, busy guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, one of the reasons we wanted to get you on, because, like you said, we are going to be doing this podcast with you. We're going to be filming it once a month, and then we're going to chop it up into 4 30-minute episodes, which will be going out on Ronnie Coleman's YouTube channel.
Yes.
And, I don't know about you, Ronnie, but I think we would run out of steam if we just talked about bodybuilding. And I think there's a lot more to you, Ronnie, than just bodybuilding. There's your mindset, there's your story, because it was only actually the other week I watched your documentary, the Generation Iron.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Sorry.
I got a lot going on, like you said.
Yeah, and I think it's I think the reason that was so successful, it was the #1 trending documentary on Netflix.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I don't know about you, but I would say maybe 15-20% of the people that watched that were actual bodybuilding fans.
Yeah. And there were a lot of regular people that watched it, because I've been getting a lot of feedback from just people that just watch TV.
Yeah.
Don't work out or nothing.
Why do you think that is?
Because they watch Netflix and it was trending on Netflix. So most time, a lot of people watch whatever was trending.
Right.
And since that was trending, they watched that.
Yeah. But also because it's more of a human story, isn't it? It's a story. It's telling more. It's like when I saw Mike Tyson on Joe Rogan, and it's interesting not because of his achievements, but because of the story of where you've come from and where you've got to now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's about a lot of things. It had me doing some of everything.
Yeah.
No, we're just excited, aren't we?
Yeah,
we're excited. So I hope, Ronnie, you have some ideas what you want to talk about other than bodybuilding too. We want to see your personal life as much as we can and share your stories.
Yeah, I'm always off into something, doing stuff.
Yeah,
like I'm always hanging with these kids or something. Always doing stuff with them, and just doing all kinds of sorts of things.
Yeah.
I got kids. They compete in skating. So
in skating.
Oh, skating, fantastic.
Yeah, figure skating. I got 2 of them that compete right now, so I'm always with them.
Yeah.
And you know, they are what 7 and Susan be 9 in about 10 days. No, about 8 days. Her birthday's on the 11th.
Oh, fantastic. Cool. Well, I wanted to get you on for a quick 10 minutes just to sort of test it all out and see how we're going to go on. And so like I said, I'll be in touch. I've got your number, Ronnie. Phone's going crazy. Yeah, and I'll be in touch, and we'll maybe we can just get a group chat thing, and we'll get some topics done, and we can cover some ground, and really kind of get a good thing going with this podcast, because I think everyone wants to see more Ronnie Coleman. I think we can never get enough of Ronnie Coleman. It's like it's like a legend, man. It's a legend. I think I'm really excited to think how it's going to develop as well. So yeah, really, really good.
Oh, okay, sounds good. We'll come up with something, no problem.
Yeah.
All right then, Ronnie. Well, just thanks for this little little preview, and she's got her AJ hair going on there.
Yeah,
fantastic. All right then, Ronnie. We'll speak.
We gotta do a lightweight baby together, huh?
Come on.
We gotta do it. Can we do it? No, okay. No, we gotta do a lightweight baby.
Go on, Ronnie.
Lightweight, baby.
Yeah, buddy. Cool. Thank you, Ronnie, and we'll see you on the 19th, mate.
All right, sounds good, bro.
Yeah. Thank you, Ronnie.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
All right,
bye. Ronnie Coleman just arrived in NYC. Now I gotta eat. There you go.
What?
That was funny. Yeah, nice little preview there, just for Ronnie. So
it's gonna be a show on Ronnie Coleman's Signature Series YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Or is it Ronnie Coleman YouTube channel?
It's Ronnie's own personal YouTube channel. Yeah, big amount of subscribers. So it's we want to get a good bit of regular content out on there. I think it's also going to be available as an audio downloadable, but it all helps to expand what we're doing, not just with that show, but with Global Muscle.
It's going to make a dope studio with Ronnie Coleman. Chris had some great ideas. I don't know what it was. It was a nerd type of thing, but it's going to look good. So we're happy to be working with Ronnie Coleman and Brendan and the Signature Series. How many countries was his product line in?
130, yeah. Well, when I was working from 2014, 2016... there was a few places in the world where they had very, very strong foothold.
Forget about that. We just had Ronnie Coleman and Phil Heath.
Oh,
we're doing big things.
Moving up, mate. On the rise. Epic, bro.
When will the show debut?
Oh, well, it's going to go out on the 19th. Well, we're going to record. We're recording enough footage on the 19th of June.
Yes.
And we're hoping to get that out. The tentative date is 26th of June, so just 1 week later. So, and then it's going to come out weekly, and then we're going to chop it up into smaller videos, and we're going to release it that way. So it's going to be really good, really, really good.
8 kids.
8 kids.
Full-time business.
Wow. No, it's
therapy and training and dieting.
Do you know what RCSS taught me about? And I've been working in the supplement industry for many years by that point. It taught me about absolute, utter professionalism and integrity and ethics. I'd actually been lucky because I'd worked for many good companies, but that was a next level company. And I've always stayed in touch with Brendan, Sean, Derek, all those guys. I love them all fantastic people. I think Justin's left actually now. But really good people, great products, great company. And I'm absolutely thrilled to be associated with the giants of the industry like MD, the giants of the industry like AJ. The small giants like Chris.
We're going to have a global tour. We're best friends with Phil Heath.
Yep.
And now we're going to do a home interviews with Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah.
We just had Vince Taylor breaking his whole life story up.
Yeah.
And we only part 1.
Oh.
And we had Margie showing some beef.
Shredded
what an episode.
Yeah, fantastic. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. And so moving up, mate. Moving forward.
But we're feeling honored most of all.
Yeah.
You gotta feel honored, Giles.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that could have went to, but they went to us.
Yes.
And we will do our best to make them happy.
That's correct. Yeah, no, it's the more you get to, it's like Phil. The more you get to know Ronnie, the more you're liking for more reasons. There's a lot of layers to Ronnie. He's a quite a deep person actually. He's a great person. I managed to spend a lot of time with him when I was working for him at the Body Powers and in different parts of the world. And he's a very, very good person to be around. He's he's got a big heart, lovely guy. And that was Susan, his wife in the background. She's lovely as well. Yeah, she's cool. We sometimes interact on social media.
And I hope Her daughter saw we got the same hair, so give you a plus in the book. Yeah, that's a good. Okay.
Fantastic. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this episode.
Yeah, buddy, let's go.
Yeah, so moving on up.
MD, Global Muscle, Pump Media, High Tech.
Global Muscle Pro Tours. Big thank you there to High Tech Pharmaceuticals.
Global Muscle Pro Tours, Feel Heat. Come and train with Feel Heat. Come and slap me and Giles around.
Come and train.
Slap Chris in his head, he's very short.
Yes, so hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next week back again for MD Global Muscle.
And
we are out.